Hello? Hello, hello. How's everybody? How am I a party people? I know y'all can probably hear my dog going. Lucille, hey, okay, starting off with advice right out of the gate. Hey, Man, I need some advice. I'm waiting for my parents to decide if they are going to co-sign. Oh boy, co-sign my student loan, but they're both two long-term alcoholics who smoke daily and can't remember shit. Woof. I mean, so student loans are like, I feel that takes priority. I would simply, if it were me, I would simply remind them until they fucking did it. God damn it, it still says I'm in LA. Ugh. All right, I need to change that on the other end. I can't change it over here, but I will change it. I'm sorry, I still said. Mess with the midsummer fit. This isn't a midsummer fit. This is just like this is just a cute shirt. I didn't smell it because it smells bad. I smelled it because, don't worry about it. Cooter Bandito, thank you for subbing with Prime. Many rats in a tube. Can we see your dog? Also, what is your dog name? Dog is Lady. Lady. Wearing a toga for a second. No, there's footage of me in a toga-ish. Oh God, I wish I secretly moved to LA. No, I've actually been getting rid of so much stuff, preparing to move. I don't know where, probably Seattle. Honestly. Hey, awesome, Lane Kaplan. Midsummer. Yeah, no, I'm vibing. Yeah, student loans suck. If you can help, like, I get you're not always able to help it from taking out student loans, but yeah, no, the fucking don't worry, we'll talk about the Epstein list. Was the toga from that cosplay? Yes. I mean, I wore a... All right, so it was more of a sheet than an actual toga. But, yeah, if y'all haven't seen, I showed off... I think I showed off... I showed it off on Instagram last stream. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll talk about the Epstein shit, because that's kind of the... Look, it sure does seem like, the administration really wants to just sweep everything under the rug in a really fucking the most crazy blatant way I've seen. Like, it's wild. I'm not even, like, it's just fucking nuts. Yeah, I was normal about toga domain. Dead toga. Yeah, that is true. According to, and we have another hate church popped up in Indiana. Love to see it. Awesome, Stella. Thank you for 20 months. Oh my gosh. Dee Dee, the journalist here for us peasants. But for real, it's my sub message time. Thank you for everything. Love you, Dee Dee /Platonic. Thank you very much, Stella. This Epstein shit is like, yeah, it's like, yeah, Epstein killed himself. Okay, well, we'll talk about it. I don't want to get into it yet because I have a bunch of other stuff I actually want to talk about. And I kind of had I don't know. I kind of wanted to talk about, yeah. There's no war in Bossing. Say, return to Lake Lugwai. Thank you very much for $5, Moth. Well, so I wanted to... All right, give me a second. I'm going to go get nasal spray because I forgot to do that. I forgot to decongest before I started, so give me 2 shakes of a lamb, so we'll be right back. Okay. Yes. So I was kind of like, I realized we came in hot and heavy and having a good time, and we're still gonna have, you know, a fun stream. But I was recently like kind of hate crimes twice almost. And I kind of just wanted to take a moment to talk about the actual state of things, and because I've never all right, so there was one time I ever remember being harassed in public for like looking queer, dressing femininely, whatever. And it was just one time somebody like called me a slur, and they were drunk, and they sounded drunk, and I ignored them. I just walked away. So I was on a date with a total cutie. Not yesterday. Well, I was also on a date with them yesterday, but day before, so 2 days ago. And we were, so there's this, we were getting dessert after dinner. I went to this cute place in the downtown mall here. And the way the mall is organized, they have this like kind of crisscrossing escalator setup. And I was wearing, all right, I'm gonna go get the skirt I was wearing so I can show it to you. Because I bought this skirt years ago now, and I had never had a chance to actually wear it because I couldn't find it. All the tops I have are usually too busy or not like formal. Anyway, I bought a top that finally fit with it. But the skirt is just a Renaissance painting. It's the same image front and back. And it's just like a little pencil kind of club skirt. And it's super cute. I love it so much. It fits great. And I was going down the escalator with my date, and I've had some guy was like right behind us on the escalator, and like had walked on, and like he sounded a little bit drunk, or like he just like, you know, but he looked like a dude. He just looked like a guy, just a regular ass, maybe 40, 50 something white dude. There was nothing overly creepy or weird about like his presentation. Just looked like a fucking guy. And once we got on the escalator, he said something like, "Oh, that's a cool skirt." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Because, you know, like that's for people wondering, that is the proper way. If you want to pay somebody a compliment for their clothing, that's what you say. You say, "Oh, that's a cool this." To which I said, "Oh, thank you." I kept talking to my date because we were in a conversation. And the guy, mind you, we're on an escalator. I'm below. He's a step above. And mind you, escalators. So we're literally a foot or two apart. Kneels down on the escalator until he is eye level with Mary, my ass, and he is looking at it like this far away. And it was because we, you know, we weren't paying attention at first because we were having a date. We were, you know, looking into each other's eyes and whatever. And we had both had a couple drinks and we were just having fun. We were going on to the next place we were going to go. I think we were going out dancing. And that's the kind of like invasive... It puts you on a back foot because nobody ever fucking expects it. Nobody ever expects, like, what do I do if somebody is like, eye molesting me? Like, you would like to think in that moment you'd be like, oh, fuck off. But the problem is here are two trans femmes together in the middle of side of the state that's predominantly red on an escalator where if we got in a fight, okay, what happens if like he decides he's taller than us, has a higher vantage point? What happens if he decides to like try and throw one of us over? Like, so we didn't do anything. We just, instead of actually taking, because the escalator, you go escalator down, escalator down, escalator down. We got off on the second floor. We were just, you know, I just quietly motioned. I was like, hey, we're going to go over here. And it was just a moment of like, I can't, because I didn't want to like look behind me. I just kind of saw in my peripheral that he was leaning down, but my date had looked behind them and so like I just asked her, like, was he just like looking directly at my ass? And she was like, yeah. Yeah. So that's fun. That's a new like nightmare that I hadn't even, of course I hadn't even considered it. But like immediately in my brain it becomes, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, what happens if one of us had turned and slapped him? Because like I see people in the chat being like, oh, well you hit them, you just slap them, or like, you know, you tell them off. Yeah, if people saw us, if society saw us as cis women, or if society saw us as feminine, but guess what? All it takes is one fucking security guard being like, no, actually he got in an altercation with this man in a skirt. And so it's like, okay, well, my choices are either risk that, risk getting targeted by something else, risk escalating the situation, or just taking it. And so, and it didn't ruin our night or anything. Like, we still had a really great time. But I saw them again today. We got lunch. The date that I had, I saw her again today. We were again having a great time. We were actually around the same mall because we both kind of live in like around downtown, relatively close. And we were walking outside. We were like, hey, do you want to go to this thrift shop? Because we just, you know, they had a little bit of time before, you know, she had to be somewhere. I was just chilling, enjoying their company. So we're vibing. We're walking around, just having a time. And we walk by. So the thing you gotta understand, like, downtown is like the downtown area. So there are a lot of, like, naturally, homeless people. Homeless people in Spokane don't bother anybody. Like, homeless people just leave you alone. You leave people alone, they'll leave you alone. It's fine. I have never, ever, I have seen so many people having breakdowns on the street, so many people tweaking out, so many people having bad trips. The only interactions I've had with homeless people have been either helping them get food, helping their animals get food, or if a homeless person would be like, hey, this other homeless person needs an ambulance called. I told the story about like the one person who had like a ketamine overdose and I had to stay with them until the fire department came. So, like, homeless people, don't have a problem with them. Never have, never will. Probably never will. However, there have always been, and it changes with the time, there have always been kids, and you know the kids that I'm talking about. Everybody knew these kinds of kids in high school. Some of us may have kind of been those kids in high school. Where they are just ne'er-do-wells. They just are always looking for trouble. They are just hanging out, loitering constantly, getting into trouble. All right, so I think I told the story not years ago, but I told the story of the white N-word kid, which is not me calling a white kid the N-word. It is a white child who said the N-word to me. Yeah, like here's the thing is I've known people who have been homeless. I know people who are homeless. Like, when you know people who are homeless, and it bugs the fuck out of me the way my parent and my grandparents talk about people. It's like they're just fucking people, you know, like they aren't gonna fuck with you. However, these kids. So let me give you a flavor of the kind of kid I'm talking about. The kid, no, not broccoli cut kids. Like trailer park, parents are meth heads, dropped out of school, freshman year kids. Improbable Ms. Yipdick, thank you very much for following. And so this kid, it was, I was walking home because when I used to bounce downtown, when I used to be a bouncer, like I would walk home at like 2 a.m., you know, because I helped the bar close. And I kind of walked through the red light district. I didn't really worry because I was pretty masked at the time. And like when I was working security, nobody really fucked with me, especially when you're walking home in a security shirt. Like, and this one kid walks, and I say kid, I don't mean like a teenager, I mean a child. I mean, and granted, this, I realize this is a hat on a hat, this is a story on a story, but walk with me here for a moment. This kid walks up to me, and he could not have been older than 13, maybe 14. Maybe. And he's talking like okay. Do you remember when the second Michael Bay Transformers movie came out? And you had the two caricature black cars that everybody went, oh, Michael Bay, you can't be doing that, white baby. He talked like that. Unironically. No. He wishes he was talking like, I wish he was talking like Eminem. No, he was talking like Cat Williams. Like, if you had raised a white baby, and instead of fucking, like, Coco Melon, you just gave them, like, Def Jam. Like, that was what raised them instead. And this, again, this baby, this child walks up to me and is like, yo, N-word, forward. You got a cigarette I can have? And here I am, an adult. sober, unprepared for this interaction, being like, and so I was just like, and I just, at the time I just said no, but it was one of those things, again, another interaction I had downtown that just played over and over in my head for like days, where I was just like, so no, it wasn't a hard R. It wasn't a hard R. Like, I feel like that it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it was also like, that's, you can't be saying, like, literally white baby, you can't be saying that, white baby. So I saw this kid again, and I didn't recognize him at first. I saw this kid again probably a year later, or around summertime, where I had just, you know, as one does, I had the urge to get a snow cone. I was walking in the park. I don't remember what I was doing, but we have a wonderful park in downtown Spokane. There's usually like a snow cone cart or truck out. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. And I hear a kerfuffle. That's the only way I can describe it. It's, you know, it's a bunch of people yelling, and you can tell when there's like, you know, yelling, but they're kids playing, or it's, you know, like somebody's getting mad, or like it's somebody tweaking, or when it's like a fight. It was a fight. And so what happened is, well, I don't know what happened. All I saw, here is what I saw with my eyes, is I see people yelling. I see one black guy who looks like he's homeless. You know, he has like a sack on his back, and he is walking away from a group of disheveled, dirty look, and I'm saying that as a descriptor, dirty looking white people. Like, not homeless per se, just white trash. You know the type. I grew up around people like that. And they are yelling at him, talking some shit about like, how dare you say that to a child? How dare you do this, that, or the other? And the guy looks like, I don't know if he had some kind of disability. I don't know what it was, but the dude looked dazed, kind of. Like I think that's the only way I can really describe it, is he didn't look like he was fully in the moment, you know? Not in a like high way either, just in a like, just like the dude was walking away. And that's my point, is I'm standing in line, just waiting for my fucking snow cone, and I see these white trash people bothering. All I see, bunch of white people yelling at and chasing down this black guy. And so I literally go like, hey, and I'm using head voice, but I fucking yelled at them. And they got up on me. So I yelled at them. I'm like, hey, fucking leave him alone. I had no idea what he had done. But to me, if there was any kind of fight, if there was any kind of altercation or scuffle, he's walking away. He's leaving the zone. They are now instigating it and trying to fucking like keep it going. And that to me is where like, okay, I think I literally said like, he's walking away, fucking leave him be. And they come over to me, and they, like, 4 of them get in my face, and this lady is yelling at me like, do you think it's okay for a grown man to hit a child? And talking to me, and I'm like, I do not know that this is what happened. You know, it was that Donald Trump meme where it's like, wow, you're telling me this for the first time. This is, I didn't know. Oh, it's Coke Francis. Hey, Coke Francis. Hi. Sorry, I'm regaling with stories of how I was almost hate crime today, but I'm laying a foundation here, so walk with me. So the lady gets in my face and is like, do you think it's okay that he yelled at a child? And I didn't say the next part that I was thinking, because I just kind of like, all I said was I wanted them out of my face. I wanted my snow cone. I wanted to leave. I just said like, he's walking away. Leave him alone. Just leave him alone. Just fuck off. Just leave him alone. And out of the depths of my nightmares, like he's formed from the ether of my subconscious. The N-word child coalesced in their midst and is still talking like a late night uncensored Cat Williams special. And I'm like, oh, no, I see why he would have hit a child. Yes, I see why this child, like, and I didn't want to, like, tell them because I didn't know it. I don't know if they were direct family. I didn't know, and I very much didn't want to fucking deal with that anymore. But I wanted to be like, maybe you shouldn't be raising up a white baby who is just calling everybody, even me, an N-word in Spokane, fucking Washington. Because guess what? At some point, this child is going to grow up a little bit. People are going to stop seeing him as a kid. And is going to hopefully, like, hey, you know what? Some kids need to, them's the breaks. Sometimes they need to be beaten off. Yeah, School of Hard Knocks. Yep. And it was crazy. It was crazy to me because I was like, it was something that I almost forgotten about, like with the entire interaction, because it's one of those things that it just strikes you. You're like, wait a second. Like, it's like, is this deja vu? Did I have a dream of this? What the fuck? Like, of all the people, doesn't matter. Phrasing. No, you beat the brakes off of somebody. So, those are the class of people I'm talking about. Those are the class of people, these kind of just like very aggro, like hyper aggro. Like, I don't like using the term low class because I think that's kind of like, it's a very bougie, shitty sentiment. But like, just people who are constantly looking for shit to get into and are constantly pissing people off. So, did I say beat them off? Uncouth. Uncouth is a good way. Tattered Nemalian is another good one. Ragamuffins. Simric, thank you for $5. I know it's not very progressive of me, but I do think you should be able to slap kids who it pissed me off because there were 1,000 things, like walking away with my snow cone. My delicious red, they had a little coconut syrup snow cone. And it was one of those things where it's like, you know when you like replay conversations with yourself in the shower and you're like, oh, fuck, I should have said that. And there were 1,000 things I didn't say because, again, I was completely taken off guard by the situation. But I should have been like, yeah, maybe that kid deserved to be slapped. Yeah. Anyway, so that is the level of people I'm talking about. These were unrelated people to what happened today. However, I wouldn't doubt they probably all know each other. And no, that's not me being racist and saying all white people know each other. Which is a joke. So, I was out on a lunch date again with this cutie patootie, this cutesy bootsy, and we're just chatting. I'm flirting. We're having a good time. We had just gotten some delicious no-bake cookies. We're enjoying ourselves. It was nice out, but we were in the shade, going to do some thrifting. And these kind of like, there's probably like 10 kids, like 10 mid to late teenagers is the thing. Like, they're in that nebulous area where I don't know if, like, all of them are minors or if some of them are, like, younger siblings or whatever. But 10 kids-ish, high schoolers to college age. And as we're walking up, there's a girl there who compliments my date's shirt. It's just very nice. And she's just like, oh, I like your shirt. And I'm just like, whatever. And then as we are through the group, because they're kind of situated on both sides of this pathway, and after we're kind of through and we're crossing the street, I hear one of the teenage boys yell out, "Are you both guys?" To which neither of us, like we were both kind of just like, okay. And he was doing that fucking annoying teenager thing that annoying teenagers do, where they're like, oh, it's funny that I'm causing a scene and doing this. And so they just do it louder and continue to do the same thing. So they're just yelling at two trans femmes just going about their fucking business. Are you both guys? Are you both guys? And I hear like some of the other people are like, dude, fucking stop, leave him alone. And then I hear other ones going like, oh, but what if they come back here and fight you? Like, and two of the other boys start talking about like, oh no, we'd beat their ass. And one of the kid who was asking if we were guys started saying, oh yeah, I'd kill them. And he says it even louder as we're walking away to make sure that we hear it. That this teenager is saying, yeah, I'd kill them. And it just, I have never, for these two events to have taken place in the span of 3 days, I was talking, like when I started talking about the harassment, I have been harassed in public one time that I can remember, previous to these. And it was so ephemeral that like, I barely paid attention to it. Didn't pay them any, never mind. Didn't bug me. I went on about my way. There was one other time where I was going to a Halloween party. I was in my rogue costume. Not my one that I have the cosplay pictures of, but the newer, better one that I still need to take pictures in. Because the wig is so much better. The outfit, it's way better. Much better. Amazing costume. And somebody asked me like, excuse me, miss, do you have, because I'm in my full wig and makeup and everything. And somebody asked me like, do you have the time? Or they asked for like a cigarette or something. And I just say, no. And I don't do like voice training or anything. So like, this is how I sound. And the dude was just, I don't know if he was high or drunk or whatever, but he was just like taken aback in that very like, oh, I'm sorry, because he had called me miss or ma'am or whatever, and kind of without thinking, I think he was just like kind of bashfully like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a woman, which is like a little funny. I didn't really like that. That is the only other time, and that I don't count that as harassment. That's whatever. Who cares? That was just a funny one-off. But the fact that, granted, this is two isolated experiences. But I think it does speak to something truly worrying for me about the attitudes in the world. Because I think broadly, especially with young kids, I think broadly a lot of people look at a lot of people look at the youth and go like, oh no, the kids are very queer accepting. Kids are, like the conservatives want to tell you that, oh, the kids are being indoctrinated to being queer, blah blah blah. But there has been a concentrated effort for over a decade now to get kids to hate without understanding the reasons why people are getting them to hate queer people. And so we are now back at a point that is, it's arguably kind of worse than the early 2000s, where, sorry, I have to like sneeze in a second. Excuse me. It's honestly kind of worse than the early 2000s, because the early 2000s, like, like the extent of gay jokes was shit like, everyone has AIDS in Team America, or fucking like, you're a gay fish stuff at South Park. Like it was fucking dumb. But it wasn't like, it was bigoted, but absent-mindedly. There was no genuine malice behind it. Where it was people laughing at queer people, at gay people, at trans people because they were different and they didn't understand that. And the difference between that and now is that it's still, they are laughing and they are casting aspersions and hate because it's different, but they do understand it. And now they understand that they hate it because of how they understand it. And it is so, like, I don't know. I don't, like I've been, it's just, it's the kind of harassment that you don't think really happens, but it is. And it's happening more now. Where it's like, it's the kind of harassment where you would watch like a period piece, Like, and granted, not to align the struggles of people, but I think there are more historical films that deal with like racism in a historical context than homophobia. And so my touchstone here is going to be like, okay, if you watch a movie about like, say an interracial couple in the 60s or whatever, or you watch a movie about a black couple in the 50s or 60s, and there are certain scenes where the way it'll be set up, it gives you a sinking feeling when this happy-looking interracial couple's walking down the street and you see a bunch of rough-looking white kids walking along, and it gives you that, like, it gives you that little, uh-oh, something bad's gonna happen. But not in a way like that would happen today, because this is like in the 60s, and this kind of racism and bigotry was more normalized. And it's that kind of thing where, like, if we had more films about being gay in other time periods, it's kind of a similar thing. It's like it's the kind of like old ass racism, not racism, old ass bigotry you would see, like, watching a movie where, like, here's this gay couple in the 60s or 70s and they're walking down the street and you see some street toughs walk by and it's like, uh-oh. And I don't know. On one hand, it is intensely embarrassing. Like to be basically visually assaulted, harassed, because there is nobody who, if what the guy did looking at my skirt, like less than a foot from my ass, there is not a single person who, if that happened to a cis woman, they would go, oh, that's not harassment. That's not assault. But because I'm trans, there is no end to the people who would say, that's not harassment. That's not assault. You're probably wanting that because you're a pervert. You probably asked for that because you're an autogynephile. You actually secretly get off on that. And not only do we have to deal with that kind of fucking indignity of being harassed and sexualized in public, the boldness of it is galling to me. But then we don't even get to take any kind of refuge in that, in being victimized, in being, objectified, because on the other half of things, we can't walk down a street without yelling and being screamed at, basically saying you're a man and we'll kill you. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm fine. Does it suck? Yeah. Does it hurt? Yeah. I'm a tough cookie. I'll get over it. The thing that I'm more worried about is my date. Because again, I used to be a bouncer. I've worked security. I've been in fights. I'm fine. Like, I can fucking handle myself even against somebody who's bigger. Even if I've lost a bit, well, I've actually put on a little bit of muscle mass again because I've been working on 2 cosplays that need my arms to look good. So, but it's been like, even with estrogen's effects and everything, I'm fine. I can fight for myself. But if somebody else, somebody I was with, somebody I cared about, somebody I'm on a date with, got hurt, and that's all that was really going through my head, is that, like, I cannot turn around and give these fucking punks, like, the telling off that I want to, because there are 10 of them and 2 of us. And as impulsive and reckless as I can be, I do not want to put somebody I care about in danger. And so that just leaves okay, well, we just have to sit and take it. And then we have to go and carry on with our day like nothing happened. We are just expected to deal with this harassment. And it's so fucking fitting, too. So in downtown Spokane, let me see if I can look this up, actually. We made national news last year. Yep, here it is. June 1st, 2025 was the beginning of Pride. So last year, we had this Pride crosswalk, right? That, it's just the progress flag over an intersection. And it was defaced. Middle of the night. They made national headlines because a bunch of people set fire to it. They spread a bunch of fucking, do kids just really roll to these kind of kids? Because they're like I was saying, Kaname-kun, the Afer, they are the kind of kids where they just loiter all day. I don't know if they don't have good home lives. I'm assuming they don't. But they are just like, they are out in the sun all day, smoking weed on the sidewalk. They are the kids. So I know some of the owners of like the small shops downtown just because I've been around downtown a lot. And they are the ones, like, they are the kids that all the little shop owners know, because the fucking punks will just come in and steal from these good local businesses. Like, they're just those kind of fucking shitheads. Yeah, so this is last year. Well, I guess this story is from this year. But last year, crosswalks set on fire. And the city of Spokane, because, you know, road paint and road closures and stuff, cost a couple $100 to $1,000 to repair it and repaint it. And every time it would be repaired, because it's at a crosswalk, what people would do is they would come downtown in the middle of the night, or they would do burnouts and leave skid marks and do like donuts and stuff on it to destroy it again. This Pride crosswalk. And now it was the most fucking fitting thing I could think of. Because this year, City Hall has not given any funds to restoring it. This is the story about that from the beginning of June. Pride Festival is set to be the largest in the city's history. However, attendees may notice a change in the iconic Pride crosswalk. The crosswalk is no longer fully painted. Vandalized twice, each incident costing $15,000 to replace. They're going to create a more permanent display on a building so that they can't really fuck it up. And it was such a fitting, I guess, look at like the kind of stuff I say is that we kind of only have each other right now. Like it is small stuff like that. These seeding of lines, this seeding of ground to people who hate trans people, people who have made it an issue to be anti-gay, to be anti-queer, anti-LGBTQ. And it is symbols like that you can go and just see this crosswalk that has been left in disrepair, this pride flag that has been torn down in plain view for everybody to see. And that was literally where we were walking by, right in front of Riverfront Park, when we were harassed and threatened and a bunch of kids said they were going to fucking kill us today. And granted, I don't actually think the children were going to kill us. Like, I didn't see them brandishing a gun or a knife or anything. But I know the kind of kids they are. And I know if we had talked back, it would have started some shit. And it is a subliminal, it is subliminal telling people that that kind of behavior is okay. Anyway. Westside Tyler, thank you very much for $5. Thank you very much, Westside Tyler. People suck. Keep your chin up. I appreciate it. Dustin the Dam, thank you for gifting a sub to Reduxist. Nightlight Plushy Jesus, thank you for gifting a sub to Vinzi and Root Fake. I appreciate you all. And for resubbing for 22 months. Holy mackerel. Yeah, it's just... it's a lot. And it's the kind of shit that, you know, you're going along having your wonderful queer life with just a really great couple of days. Just really good dates with a person I really like, and I don't know, it's like being ripped back to reality. You know, like if you're having a really good dream and then you are forcibly dragged back into the world, like, oh right, people fucking hate me and wish violence upon me for literally no reason. And now it's not just online. It's not just in places like Twitter where they've been made to feel comfortable in being able to express that constantly, all the time, I have to deal with it in real life, where the chances of me being actually hurt, or more importantly to me, somebody I care about being actually hurt, has increased exponentially. And it's because of every fucking asshole like Matt Walsh, like Chaya Raichik, like all of these fucking cock-sucking cunt motherfucking ass-licking dipshit fuckheads, like Charlie Kirk, all of them. This is the world that they've wanted to create. And the only way we get to prevent it is by being there for each other. And that's why I am so community-minded. Because don't think for a second all this shit is going to stop me from going out. If you ask me, gun to my head, is the threat of being bashed, being gay bashed, is that enough to stop me from going out with this fine ass cutie I've been going on dates with? Damn no. Fuck no. I'm not gonna stop being queer because somebody threatens me with violence. Anyway, I just wanted to tell someone about those. They're so fucking crazy. Like, especially the skirt guy. Like the kids, whatever. That's like the most boilerplate form of harassment ever. The skirt guy was like befuddling. Like, I was blown away by the fucking nerve it took to do that. I get weirded out if I'm in somebody else's bubble. I'm like, hey, is it okay if I like stand here? Like in an elevator or something. The idea that he is, again, like he was like this close to just my full plump butt. Just right there. Insanity. That somebody is that fucking comfortable doing that shit. Halo Thane Space Dust, thank you for $5. It's disgusting that happened to you and your date. We really do live in hell. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Sorry to vent. Thank you all for bearing with me. I appreciate it. So, really quick, a couple months back, if you'll remember, I believe it was Pam Bondi said that she literally had on her desk the Epstein client list. Remember when, do you remember when Trump came in, took over everything, and was like, hey, we're gonna, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, everybody made such a big fucking deal in the entire lead up, being like, oh, we're declassifying all the deep state Democrat files, and we're gonna show you what really happened with Epstein. Even though Trump was president when Epstein was suicided. SAR, as it turns out, well, okay. Look, I don't want to be too. This is making me insane because it is making me feel like they're. Granted, I do not think like nothing in Trump's operation is smart enough to like do what I feel like is happening. Which what I feel like is happening is they are trying to like gaslight the left broadly into like looking stupid for believing the most obviously true conspiracies in the world. Because I feel like fucking Alex Jones now. Like I feel like that Trump deep state got rid of the Epstein files and they're keeping it from you. Like that's what I feel like. I feel like I am taking crazy pills. Do you remember when they made up like they had a whole big show where they brought out fucking Chaya Raichik and all of them, and they gave them little binders, and they were like, yes, we're showing the Epstein the real, this is the straight dope, this is what actually happened. Earned, sir. After several months of no more developments on that front, it kind of seems like they're trying to bury it as much as possible. Because, okay, so, quick recap for people who don't remember. Jeffrey Epstein, prolific pedophile, rapist, sex trafficker, embezzler with shit tons of ties to massive names. Had a client list, had a little black book full of tons of people's names. There were 6 contacts directly linked to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein had plenty of photos, plenty of appearances together where Donald Trump said specifically, oh yeah, Epstein, Jeffrey, he likes girls and he likes them on the young side. Donald Trump is quoted on record as saying that. House.gov, listen to the Jeffrey Epstein tapes. Trump called Epstein a terrific guy who enjoyed younger women before denying relationship with him. Now, the lore that I think people have kind of forgotten is stuff like Alan Dershowitz, who was Trump's lawyer, campaigned against Trump, critical, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Harvard professor praises Trump's targeted defunding. Alan Dershowitz famously also got Epstein off the first time. Let's see if they have it all on the thing. This fucking freak. Legal career, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Member of the legal defense team for Epstein. Had previously befriended Epstein. So this, again, he and Trump had friends in common. Natchy. The first investigation concluded with the controversial non-prosecution agreement that Dershowitz helped negotiate. 2008, after Epstein pleaded guilty to a state charge of procuring for prostitution a girl below age 18, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Would it shock you to know he also defended Harvey Weinstein? And look at that, joined Trump's legal team as he was being tried on impeachment charges in the Senate. Ooh, hell yeah. Let me watch that real quick. Let's watch the... So again, there are links that run more than skin deep for all these people. This is not just, as much as, you know, Elon Musk likes to point off as like, no, I was actually just at a party when Ghislaine photobombed me. Like, bullshit. Fuck off. All right, let's see what 1776 will rise again. Alex Jones pukes and cries over Trump's Epstein betrayal.
So as you all know, Trump's FBI and his DOJ came out the other day, and they said, Epstein, bro? Epstein? There's, like, nothing to even see there. First of all, he doesn't have any blackmail. He has no client list. And he totally killed himself, so, like, whatever. Move on. Nothing to talk about.
Sorry, that was really loud.
And, I mean, just immediately as soon as I read that, I was like, guilty. I mean, we already knew Trump was guilty. That's not a surprise. But the fact that the FBI and the DOJ were effectively forced to come out and say that is humiliating, but it's also further proof that there's a lot to hide here. In fact, I think that what's happening, and Crystal made this point, I think it's a great point, is that now that Elon's starting his America Party and like he's very officially an enemy of Trump, Trump fears that, well, maybe Elon does have some Epstein dirt on me, right? And because Elon came out before and said, Trump's in the Epstein files. And so since Trump thinks Elon has some dirt on him, if he has the DOJ and the FBI come out now and say, there's nothing to even see here, then when something comes out, he can say, it was fake news, it's a witch hunt, Elon's doing it's a witch hunt, and it's fake news, look, the DOJ and the FBI says I was right, I didn't do anything wrong. And so I think that's the dynamics of what's going on. But in the wake of this, oh boy, MAGA is coping and seething at levels I'm not sure we've ever seen before, bro. I am not sure we've ever seen these levels before. So in just a second, I'm going to get to Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a unique case because he built his whole brand on being the conspiracy guy. Mm-hmm. And here you have, I mean, the Epstein thing, look, if I'm being honest, it is a legitimate conspiracy, right? Like, the conspiracy theorists are correct when they say Epstein didn't kill himself. And so this was like a defining thing for Alex Jones for like a whole era of his show. And so to have Trump
and I want to preface before we get too far into that, because if people, again, if you are just coming into politics or you don't really know much about this, I cannot specify enough. Jeffrey Epstein had an unlimited list of people that were connected to him. It wasn't just Trump. It was Trump, Bill Clinton, Stephen Hawking. Like, the list went fucking on and on and on and on and on and on. So somebody who may have been set to testify in exchange for freedom, in exchange for, whatever. The circumstances surrounding his suicide are so batshit unbelievable died by suicide. Cardiac arrest, pronounced dead, blah, blah, blah. Suicide by hanging. Epstein's lawyers challenged the medical examiner's conclusion, opened their own investigation. Of course, yes. William Barr described Epstein's death as a perfect storm of screw-ups. So it's just like, these things it was just like a Rube Goldberg machine where one thing just knocked into the other. Like, who's to say? The guards on duty were later charged with multiple counts of record falsification. Many public figures accused the Federal Bureau of Prisons of negligence. Several lawmakers called for the reforms to the federal prison system. All charges against him were dismissed. Ongoing sex trafficking investigations shifted attention to his alleged associates, notably Ghislaine Maxwell. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. The jail informed the Justice Department that he would have a cellmate and a guard would look into the cell every 30 minutes. These procedures were not followed. Epstein's cellmate was transferred. No replacement was brought in. Oh my gosh. The evening of his death, Epstein met with his lawyers, who described him as, quote, upbeat before being escorted back to the SHU. CCTV footage shows that 2 guards failed to perform the required institutional count at 10 and recorded Noel briefly walking by the cell at 10:30. The last time the guards entered the tier where his cell was located. Throughout the night, in violation of the jail's normal procedure, Epstein was not checked every 30 minutes. Oh, here's the really fun part that, like, oh my god, again, just a perfect storm of screw-ups. Absolutely nothing to see here. Don't even worry about it. 2 cameras in front of the cell also miss. 2 cameras in front of Epstein's cell also malfunctioned that night. Another camera had footage that was, quote, unusable. So, the one night where his lawyer said, oh, he was upbeat, he was in a good mood. This person who has dirt on probably some of the most powerful people in the world, the sickos running our society, knowing the devious, horrendous, vile horror movie shit they're actually into. And we are supposed to not only now believe that just coincidence, again, magical storm of coincidences, that not 1, not 2, but 3 cameras happened to malfunction on the exact same night that guards failed to do routine checks. That also coincided with the exact same night that he had a roommate that was transferred out and not replaced. Like, dog, don't fucking piss in a bowl and call it Cheerios. Like, it's not gonna fool me. Like, what the fuck? Seriously? Like, it's such a insane conspiracy. Oh, weird. Epstein's death was the first death ruled a suicide at the MCC in 14 years. Michael Baden in 60 Minutes questioned whether Epstein, who's almost 6 feet tall and weighed 185 pounds, could have been able to hang himself from the lower bunk. Photos taken after the death show bodies in medicine standing upright on the top bunk. Baden also questioned why Epstein did not use other materials such as ligature, or use other materials available as ligature, such as wires and tubing from a sleep apnea machine, which were stronger and longer. Here did we have from the Washington Post, JFK, OJ, and now Epstein, celebrity pathologist Michael Baden has seen his share of controversial cases. During his decades-long career, Baden has investigated the assassinations of JFK. Martin Luther King Jr. testified as a defense witness for OJ, who, by the way, also had a link to Alan Dershowitz. Identified the bodies of Tsar Nicholas II of Russia and Nazi doctor Josef Mengele. At 85, he estimates he's performed more than 20,000 autopsies. Jesus. Much to think about. Casey Buckner, has anyone told you you look like Rain Whispers from the Owl House? Oh, thank you. You guys think he's alive? No, I think Epstein is dead. Like, Epstein is dead. Because guess what? That's the only way to make sure a loose end is tied up. Oh, yeah, no, we're going to get to Elon Musk's... Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Y'all, it's so good. We'll get to it. But, so I want to kind of preface our conversation of the idea of it being a conspiracy. Because, like, when you hear conspiracy, when Kyle is talking about Alex Jones, the level of Alex Jones conspiracy is shit like, the Bilderberg Group and the Council of Nine and the Illuminati, and like, you think actually Stanley Kubrick is, he was, of course, responsible for filming the moon landing. Like, the classics, the hits, the X-Files, if you will. This shit, like, what the odds are infinitesimal as to be none. Like, anything Alex Jones has ever said, still incredibly unbelievable. The amount of hoops and bullshit you have to jump through to make it even close to feasible. But this, dog, the problem. You think that's air you're breathing? Solarlander, thank you for 20 months in a row. Arsenica, thank you very much for following. Susie Alt, thank you for subscribing. What is real? Bubba Hotep. Man, Bubba Hotep whips. Oh, man, I want to go watch Bubba Hotep. Hell yeah.
From underneath them and say, actually, there's nothing to see there, bro.
Banger.
It's not as simple for Alex Jones as to just come out and be like, Trump's right. So he's sort of doing the mental gymnastics and trying to work through it. In just a second, I'll show you the video. It's actually hilarious. But first, let me show you this. So here's Mike Cernovich, very prominent MAGA right-winger. He says this.
Guerrilla
There's
mindset.
A chain of command on this planet, and elite pedophiles are at the very top. Even above Trump.
That's a classic.
Way above
Fuck
him.
Yeah.
That is immense.
How do you define real if real is something you can see, you can taste?
So as Tommy Vietor says, he makes a great point. This part of the Trump fandom drives me crazy. He is at once daddy, the I alone can fix it strongman, and also constantly the victim of some higher power whenever something goes wrong. They can't just say, Trump is wrong here.
Trip and Stick, thank you very much for Prime.
Something's fishy. Perhaps he actually is in those Epstein files. They can't do it. They can't say maybe the order came down from Trump and told the FBI and the DOJ, hey, go out there and say there's nothing to see here when it comes to Epstein. So, I mean, how do they not see how ridiculous this looks? And by the way, I should point out, Tommy Vietor from the PodSave podcast, he's coming on Crystal Kyle and Friends this week, and I'm really looking forward to that conversation. If you guys want to see the whole thing, subscribe on Substack below, and you can see the full video.
Wasn't Mike Cernovich that Sylvester-sounding MFer who got James Gunn fired from Marvel? Yeah, it's Cernovich. That's Cernovich. Sucker and succotash.
Drops.
Oh yeah, no. Mike Cernovich is like a genuine piece of shit.
Definitely don't miss that. That should be a great
Unbelievable little goblin.
So Charlie Kirk says the following. If Trump was on the Epstein list, why didn't Biden release that info to stop Trump being president? And here you have some...
Kathy Ultra MAGA. Seriously, who gives a fuck about these files? If you whispered to Kathy Ultra MAGA, KL Ultra MAGA, if you whispered to this senior white woman, I heard Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin are in the Epstein files, she would have a conniption and would not rest until those files were made public. It would be her personality from here until she dies of a coronary in 5 years at an old country buffet.
Ultra MAGA woman named Kathy, who says, seriously? Who gives a fuck about these files? There we go. So new script just went out. New talking points just dropped,
Thank you, Dirty
y'all.
Jester.
Epstein, bro? Epstein, bro? I don't even know no Epstein, bro. Who's Epstein? What are we talking about, Epstein? I don't even know no damn Epstein, bro. Why would I even care about this, bro? So MAGA is not in a good way right now, y'all. They are not in a good way. So some of them are just, there's no issue here. I don't even know what's wrong. bro, it's that Trump's not even in charge. It's the people above him that are doing. Anytime something bad happens, it can't be Trump. There's got to be some other shadowy figure who's really calling the shots. But when something goes good, oh, Trump, thank you so much. You delivered for us. But here we go. Now let's get to the main event. So Alex Jones is amazing.
It's so, all right, low key. So Alex Jones, one of the things that he's really, Alex has been kind of adrift. He's been kind of set unmoored because the focus is no longer on him. He lost his Sandy Hook trial. So he's kind of just in this weird nebulous middle ground where, like, all the guy, his show has become this constant eating its tail of like, oh, we're winning, but we need your help to fight the globalists, but we're absolutely winning. It's all wins all the time, nothing but dubs, because, you know, like, the Trump agenda now controls all the shit that for decades Alex has been saying is controlled by the globalists, even though nothing's really changing. But it secretly is, says Alex, because, you know, reasons. But it's put him in this weird kind of area where, okay, well, if we've essentially won, or if Trump is, you know, finally beating the globalists or anything, you don't really need to keep watching Alex. You know, he's just very, he feels out of place and out of time. Like he doesn't have a bad guy to pinpoint anymore. So he does a lot of shit like this kind of very Facebook boomer posting. Hey, I'm going to make a video in my car with my fucking pit vipers. And that's what we get here, which is very funny to me.
Alex Jones is having damn near a mental breakdown in reaction to this news. He literally says, I'm going to go puke because, and this happens like once a year when I'm really stressed, I have to go puke. This is wild. Let's watch.
Obviously, there's nothing the globalists wouldn't do to keep this from coming out. They've already tried to kill Trump repeatedly. I mean, had they rolled over, I see a lot of signs that, I mean, Trump's pretty much in charge now.
What was I saying? What was I just saying? What was I just saying about, like, no, we absolutely see Trump's pretty much in charge now. Like, it's this threading the needle that he has built up so much. Like, obviously, his Trump, diehard, rabid MAGA, he's thrown his entire lot in with Trump. Their brands are connected at this point, at least in the minds of Alex's audience. So he can't, like, go back. He can't, like, say nar. But also, Trump is continually going against his promises and continually disappointing people. And so Alex has to constantly be backpedaling and, like, couching his observations about, you know, it's a globalist doing this stuff. Ridiculous.
So all evidence points towards them using the information to control the deep state. So meet the new boss, same as the old boss. The Who song won't get fooled again. This is going to be an unmitigated disaster. I don't know how they got Trump and the DOJ to do this. Because
I don't know. Like what? How did they get Trump and the DOJ to do this? How did they? The mind fucking boggles. The mind reels. Okay, continue. Sorry, Alex. I didn't mean to.
I don't know how they got Trump in the deal. Who's they? Who's they? I got news for you, Alex. Maybe, just maybe, the deep state is Trump. He called the shots. He made the decision. So as you can see, he goes back and forth between, like, most party, where he's like, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. In other words, like, Trump's just like the rest of them. Then he goes from that to, I don't know how they made Trump do this, bro. No, he did it. It's him. He did it. He did it. He's in the Epstein files. He's trying to hide that. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. He's like, he gets it, and then he immediately doesn't get it. It's like, I got it, and then, I lost it. Because
he can't. Identity. Like that's, and I think Kyle's about to say the same thing here, but, like, he can't get it. If he gets it, that's it. That's his brand. That's his brand identity. Fucking gone. Like, no more Brain Force Plus, none of that shit. He has to be like, hello? How did Trump and Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, these incredibly smart, who Alex has been saying, oh, they're competent, they're going against the deep state, they're fighting for you, America, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on.
Is tied up in being MAGA. Look, that's a point that people have been making this point a lot recently, and I think it's a phenomenal point. Politics is not about policy, and it's not about facts, and it's not about evidence, and it's not about information. Politics, unfortunately, to so many people, is about identity. So when I criticize MAGA,
it's about
when I
fucking
criticize their
aesthetics.
policies, when I say you're ripping 17 million people off healthcare, they reject it because, no, this is my identity. So you're not disagreeing on a policy point. You're telling me my identity is bad and wrong and evil, and I can't take that. So I'm going to double down, and I'm going to, batten down the hatches.
No one is buying it. So I never saw any evidence of Trump involved in any of the stuff that came out. It was all fake. The fake Jane Does, all the crap.
There's no evidence Trump did anything bad, like, and wrong sexually, bro. Like all the Jane Does and stuff, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Are you kidding me? There's literally, it's over 20 or 30 different various sexual allegations against Trump. We have him on video saying, the Access Hollywood tape. He goes, when I see a beautiful woman, I can't help myself. I just start kissing them. You can do anything. They let you do anything. You can grab them by the pussy. I don't even wait. That's the key part when he says, I don't even wait. What do you guys think that means when he says, I don't even wait? What he's saying is, I don't wait for consent. I'll just grab him by the pussy.
And this isn't even to talk about. I think it also betrays some of the stuff we also know about Trump is that, like, his ex-wife had the shit beaten out of her because he got shitty hair plugs. And she he ripped part of her hair out and apparently raped her additionally. Oh yeah, our Seneca is while watching Alex Jones make excuse. No, Alex Jones is such a fucking empty husk. This is somebody pointed it out earlier, but like this is what happens. Alex Jones is the dog that's caught the car. Like dogs are always chasing the car. What happens if they actually catch it? I've caught the car. Well, shit, I didn't really think this far ahead. Fuck. We can't really have the car caught the car, so the car can't keep going. I don't really have anything else I want to catch. So question mark? Profit? Hey Graves, yeah, this is
I don't
live.
even wait. So that, he literally admitted to SA on camera. He's told the story on Howard Stern when he owned whatever it was, the Miss Universe or Miss America pack. Yeah. This is such cope from Alex.
Jean Carroll, the crazy leftist cat lady, all of it. So now by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way.
Back and forth, bro. They're part of the cover-up. This is horrible. But also, how did they make him do this, bro? How did they make him do this?
So I just got to the office. I'm gonna go throw up actually, and this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now.
Graves, thank you very much for gifting 10 membership. Oh, Nyan Rat, Lane Kaplan, Screech Vampire by Day, Banana Brains, Doe the Wendigo, Tactical Gaming Fool, thank you all. K-Top, screw it. He's lost a bit of weight. Graves, I love your right, Dead Dummy. You never fail to show me something new and horrifying. You're welcome, I think. Thank you. Thank you very much for the donos. I appreciate it.
And all this was, bro, I can't believe this. Trump and the Epstein files, he's betraying us, bro. It's not like we were warned about this endlessly by people on the left who were correct about everything, bro. This is amazing. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up right now. I'm gonna throw up.
Something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because
Is he crying? He's crying.
No, he's fucking faking it. So here's the thing: is I don't know how much Kyle has, and not saying that like Kyle doesn't know anything or like, oh, he's so dumb. Like, not saying that at all. I just like I have listened. I've watched a lot of Alex Jones. I've spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time listening to Knowledge Fight, like for years now. Great podcast. Cannot recommend it enough. And you get, when you've listened to so much of Alex, even like kind of by proxy, you get a feel for how fake he is. How, it's not to say Alex Jones doesn't believe in something, but anytime, he's worse than Glenn Beck, really, where it is just like the way he forces himself and pushes himself. It's like bad improv. If you see, like, when you see somebody really just oh, and you fucking see it there. It's like, even the, like, what are you doing, dog? Come on, man. Come on, son. Come on, son.
This is incredible. What an incredible video. This is so good.
This only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And
you know you have integrity when you have to say, I have integrity.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how I start you every day. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I have integrity. I have integrity.
Yeah, no, exactly. Blew him. It insists on itself. Exactly. You got it.
Oh my God.
I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out.
He's crying.
You know, the left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil.
Like, Alex, how do you...
So in a story about Donald Trump basically being in the Epstein files, covering up his death, lying that there's no client list, all this stuff, we know all this stuff, by the way. Like, obviously there's a client list. We got the black book. That's like part of the client list is in the black book. In the midst of a story about how the right and Trump and MAGA are screwing over everybody, lying about Epstein, covering up the elite VP of Pedophile Sex Crimes Incorporated, he goes, we know the left are evil and the left are... Why the fuck's the left catching strays? Homie, we were right. You should be handing out medals to us. You should be giving us trophies and shit. Right about it.
And I want to say that, like, people are like, well, if the files are real, why didn't Biden come forth with them? Because, like, insofar as Biden had any mental faculties or acuity left during his term, he's not going to do that. Like, Biden doesn't have that kind of... But, you know, speaking of what Alex just said, Biden straight up doesn't have that kind of integrity. Because guess what? It's almost guaranteed. If Trump is in the Epstein file list, so is Clinton. Guess what they're not going to fucking show? Guess what the DNC, who are still dragging fucking Bill Clinton's bedraggled corpse shambling onto the DNC stage every fucking couple of years, like fucking Weekend at Bernie's. Like, they're not going to do that. That's their boy. That's their boy. Come on.
Everything shirts. What are you talking about? The left is evil. They support We support people on MAGA now is going, Epstein list? Who's Epstein? I don't even care. Why would I care about that list, bro? Who supports pedophilia again? Oh my God. See, this is what I mean with these people. Even when they're right, they're wrong. Right? Like, you could take...
But also, here's the thing, is that, like, if... All right, let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's just say that Biden did release it. Not a single Trump supporter, Trump diehard maggot, would believe it was real for a second. They just wouldn't. The only way MAGA would believe that Trump was actually on the Epstein file list was if Trump himself came out and said it. And even then, there are so many layers of, like, deep fake cope and fucking QAnon shit that they would be like, well, no, actually, this is a grand plan. He's working with Q, and this is the storm, and this is why they're getting all the Democrats to come forward, and this is going to end up with Hillary Clinton in prison, you see, because Trump is a genius 5D chess player. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, there's nothing that would get the already indoctrinated to care in a real way. Stephanie Tucker, thank you for $1.49. A red box of popcorn.
certain things Alex says in this, quote it, write it down, and just have somebody read it, and they would go, oh yeah, Alex is right about that, right? Like, oh, Trump's doing the cover-up. Yeah, he's right about that. But even when he's right, he's wrong. Because he can't help himself, but now the entire onus still somehow ends up on the left. This is what the Rogan sphere does. This is what Alex Jones does. This is what so many so-called anti-establishment people...
Yeah, I will watch the Ammon video. Okay, Misanthropic, you too. Yadolf. Oh, we haven't watched this Ammon animations, have we? I don't think... Is this a new one? Ammon came out with the new banger? I still really like that frog model. Oh, 2 years ago. Oh, goddamn. God, that's so long ago. Black Cover, so MAGA wouldn't believe it, Jordan. So I go by Vesper now. I changed my name. But I'm assuming Black Clover, you didn't know that. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, just to kind of put a bow on this. From AOL.com, from USA Today, I guess. Jeffrey Epstein had no client list. Died by suicide. DOJ and FBI conclude. They have found no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein kept a client list. Now, contradicting Attorney General Pam Bondi's past suggestion that such a list from the convicted sex offender and financier existed. A review of materials in the U.S. government's possession found no evidence Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals or that he was murdered. So, literally, everything that had to do with anything. Let me see. Yeah, Black Clover, you're good. It's fine. Everything, they are sweeping it away. They're saying, nope, nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's all okay. Oh God. Look, in 50 years, in 100 years, whatever, when shit gets declassified, the shit I would, no, with an ER, Black Clover, not with an A. You're good. I would go bonkers, bananas, banooners to be able to see, to hear what I wouldn't give to be a fucking fly on the wall in these offices when they are discussing the fact that Trump is absolutely on those lists and they have to lie. When the world of politics comes crashing down around all these dipshit ideologues who thought they were on this valorous, beautiful crusade to make America great again, for however many of them genuinely had those sentiments that they genuinely believed, what I wouldn't give to see their little fucking faces when they learned their little god emperor, the guy that they thought was going to lead them into a new American golden age and fucking bring everybody on his back to American prosperity like the goddamn eagles from Mordor. Only for him to be pedophile number one. And now, not only do they know that, but they have to be complicit in covering it up. I couldn't sentence them to a better living hell for their crimes. Because guess what? If you learned that, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that, maybe they find something that is kind of sketchy. Maybe there are suspicious circumstances around Epstein's death. That this guy who was in a hyper-secure prison just died. Just was killed. I mean, allegedly. Are you gonna be the dude that goes against that administration? Are you gonna be the one who sticks out like a sore thumb while Trump controls the FBI, the DOJ? Are you gonna be the whistleblower? I don't think so. Oh, man. The first memo, or the memo first reported by Axios, comes after Trump's supporters have pushed for the admin to release details about Epstein's associate after Trump, during the 2024 presidential campaign, endorsed doing so. So it's, again, another thing that Trump probably had never any intention of ever actually doing. When asked about releasing an Epstein client list during a February Fox News interview, seemed to confirm there was a list. Quote, "It's sitting on my desk right now to review." The conclusion is also supported by video evidence of the prison unit where Epstein was housed. The memo says the video, which it plans to release publicly online, confirms that nobody entered any of the tiers in Epstein's housing unit from the time his cell was locked until around 6:30 a.m. the next morning. The memo says the FBI reviewed more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence during digital searches of databases, hard drives, and network drives. It also conducted physical searches of locked cabinets, desks, closets, and other areas where material from the Epstein investigation had been stored. The Epstein files include large volumes of images of Epstein and victims who were minors or appeared to be minors, according to the memo, as well as more than 10,000 videos and images of illegal child sex abuse material and other pornography. The review confirmed prior findings that Epstein harmed more than 1,000 victims. So, first off, Alan Dershowitz, you're going to hell, dude. You're going to hell. You're going to super hell. Like, this is the dude you got off. Like, the reason that Alan Dershowitz is one of the reasons that Jeffrey Epstein was able to go free. That he wasn't rotting in a fucking prison cell to begin with. So put a pin in that. So we're supposed to believe, again, coincidences upon coincidences upon coincidences. We are now supposed to believe that the most prolific, notorious, horrifying, monstrous sex trafficker and pedophile, probably in like goddamn near close to human history, probably rivaled only by the most vicious and bacchanal incentivized leaders of Rome. Like a true inhuman monster. Judge Holden shit. And we're supposed to believe that this guy, who, again, was being charged for sex trafficking, was just sex trafficking these children to nobody? That like he just had people visiting his island all the time, but nobody was on the island? That there was nobody actually on those flight logs that had people on the flight logs? That's great. Oh man, I'm so glad we had fucking Kash Patel crack the case. Musk renews criticism. As his relationship publicly imploded with Trump last month, he alleged in a social media post that Trump's name is mentioned in the Epstein files and claimed the reasons the undisclosed classified documents have not been released. He later deleted the post. In a series of July 7th posts on X, the social media platform he owns, he criticized the administration's claims in its new report. He posted an image that reads, "The official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter, which is set to 0000." Incredible. Bondi has faced pressure from Trump's MAGA base to deliver big findings. After hyping up the release of declassified files on February 27th, she disclosed about 200 pages. This is the big photo op they did with Libs of TikTok that implicated no one else in Epstein's orbit other than Epstein. A review of tens of thousands of videos. Oh, my God. Look, say what you want about these fucking monsters and them covering shit up, but, like, I genuinely I don't know. I think that would break something. I think you like in the same way that certain doctors, you have to be kind of just fucked up in the head to put that shit aside. The amount I cannot imagine somebody more fucked up in the head, like from a trauma, not like actually, you know, pedophiles obviously, but the trauma that the actual, and look, ACAB, all cops are bastards. We know this. That being said, to me, there are no more selfless, and God, I hope, the good ones at least, heroic service than people who track down legitimate sex traffickers and people who make CSAM and people who hurt children. Because to me, that has to be one of the hardest jobs. Like, we now know that, you know, Sound of Freedom guy, Tim Ballard, was full of shit, was a sex trafficker and assaulter himself. And I deeply, genuinely hope that most people who work those jobs are not like that. I genuinely, really hope to, if only to hold on to a little tiny, just a little shred of optimism for humanity. I hope that there are people there who are able to genuinely do good and fight those fucking monsters. And that hope does fade a little bit when I think about how that's tempered by the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA being run by people like this. Dark Sage 9117, my 2 cents is that the client list is real, so are the alleged videos, but the reason you'll never see it is because how do you, if you're implicated, spin your way out of accusations? We all know the political elite lie, but with something like human trafficking. Oh no, like here's the thing. Okay, again, let's just say for the sake of, I think this is a don't look up situation. The Epstein files are a don't look up situation where it's like, how do you broach that idea? Like how do you tell the world that, hey, there is actually this? All right, so funny thing, you know how QAnon said that like all the liberals and Democrats, there was like a pedophile cabal that, you know, would like murder and harm children, and like they were all protected by rich other assholes who were, you know, had a ton of money, and they like would traffic kids and all this stuff. Okay, funny thing about that. So, actually true. However, it's not just Democrats, it's everybody. And it's not just the United States, it's all the countries. Like you look at the way people's brains broke just from like COVID, just from like minor, small controversies. The idea, like, I can't even begin to predict like what would happen, because it is like the world is ending thing. Like it is something that, you know, a lot of people just go through their life being like, yeah, probably there's a cabal of elite pedophile assholes out there that are, you know, murdering and killing people and sucking their adrenochrome. Yeah, probably. I don't know anything about it, but that wouldn't surprise me. But there's so many people who are so sure that the side that they've bet on is the right one, that, oh no, these people are the Trumps are good. They're the good ones. Oh no, Trump. I don't know why I went Fargo with that. But no, oh no, Trump, he's one of the good ones, don't you know? Like, it would break people's fucking brain in ways QAnon has nothing on this. So let's watch Trump Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt try and navigate around this.
That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
Sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox
I've
News.
got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was
What?
saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the
Like, she really has to, when counteracted with the facts of what was said, she really has to go like, look, man, I didn't say that shit. I don't know. I'm saying what I was told to say. You gotta go ask that bitch what she said. That's her. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I mean, it's kind of my circus, but these monkeys are not my. I have my own monkeys. Can you ask me about my monkeys? I'm prepared to talk about my monkeys, not other people's monkeys.
FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Great. And you know what? Here's the thing. The crazy part about this, nothing's gonna come of it. They're gonna. You think there's something really happening with Jeffrey Epstein? Do not believe your lying eyes. Do not believe your lying eyes. The state has spoken. Who are you to disagree with the incredibly the Trump administration that has just a history of not lying or saying anything bad at all? For sure, dude, for sure. The Blue Witch, thank you for subscribing for Prime for 6 months. Vesper is a great name. Thank you. I have been getting a lot of compliments on it, and I'm very happy about it. It's...
That's transparency.
I've never, Actual dream. Valerie the Bat.
I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true. 'Cause I think you're so good. And I'm nothing like you. Look at you. I just adore you. I wish that I knew.
With the vine bill.
You think I'm so special.
You certainly got the like the dreamlike Lynchian quality down. Yeah, no, Jay Showa, it's like the JFK, like we won't know for decades. Yeah, no, like and it's, guess what? By the time we know, all the people that have anything to do with it are going to be dead. So they're going to skate by. They're going to get to live their lives completely immune to the consequences of the horrors that they have wrought that the rest of the world will have to deal with. That's the world we live in. God, you know what is really, like, I don't like using the word blackpilling, but you know what's been really blackpilling me lately? So I started in an effort to become more financially stable, more financially responsible. I took some of the Brianna Wu money. I had a pretty good month, the month I did the Brianna Wu video, just because of views and stuff. Not like amazing, but it was better than I've had in a bit. And so I took some of the extra money, and instead of putting it into savings, I've put it into stocks. And there is nothing that will blackpill you faster than a stock market, because it becomes so clear. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I woke up this morning. What the fuck do you mean I've made $800? Because I bought a stock when it was 20 cents. And it's now over $2. Fucking what? What do you mean? And really, really think about that for a moment. Because that means that, like, let's just say, for the sake of argument, say I was from, somebody with money. Say I came from a family where I had money. Instead of just investing the amount I was able to, I would be able to invest, instead of, a couple hundred, how about 10,000? Okay, so I invest 10,000. Let's just do some quick math here. Let's say I had 10,000 to invest, right? I invest at 10,000 divided by point. Let's say the stocks were 20 cents. I think they were a little bit lower than that, but 20 cents. God damn. Did I do that right? Times 0.20. I think so. That is 2,000 shares, I believe. So 0.20 as times 2. No, it's 400. Whatever. How the fuck would that... All right, hang on. Sorry, I haven't done the division in a while. The division. If I invest... No, God, I look stupid. It's okay. It's fine. It's been a long day. $0.20 to $2 is $10K. Yeah, let's call it stocks. Whatever. Point is, if I had 10,000 and I invested $10,000 into stocks that were 20 cents a share, right? Yeah, there you go. 10K divided by 0.2 equals 200,000. Now, multiply that times 5 times 200, 300. Yeah, no, here you go. Mira, no. $10,000, you would have made $100,000 minus $10,000 equals $90,000 for zero work. Exactly. Like, it is so... And I do it through Cash App. Like, they've made it so fucking easy to just invest, which is like, on one hand, it's like, oh, well, yes, I have a stock portfolio and now I'm investing. But it's like, it is designed, first and foremost, so that people with money can just keep trading money back and forth and giving themselves more imaginary money, and the money just keeps going up. And you aren't able to get on that money train, because to get on that money train, you have to already have money to keep making more money. And it's incredibly bleak. Like, it's dark shit. And I'm hoping the stock that I'm investing in keeps going up. I've been checking it every day. I've been buying a little bit more. I'm going to cash out soon. And it's just fucking, what are we doing? All right, let's watch this real quick, and then, oh boy, I got a treat for y'all. Actually, you know what? So we're gonna do one other thing first. Black Sabbath had their last show. We're gonna talk about that a little bit because it does get a little political. Disturbed, I believe, was booed off stage. Oh yeah, that's just a speculative value. Dividends are fucking crazy. So I just learned about dividends, where apparently for holding stocks, the more stocks you hold of a company that gives out dividends, they'll just give you money for having the stocks. They just give you fucking money. Like, not even for trading, just giving you. Fuck, man. David Draymond is a big Zionist piece of shit. Like, right after October 7th, David Draymond was signing Israeli missiles that were sent into Gaza. Okay, so let's do animations first. Then we'll go to Black Sabbath. And then people have been talking about it. Look, people might know my history with a certain hate church. And today I was browsing and I saw somebody actually tagged me in it. They were like, hey, isn't this one of Dead Domain's churches? Where... And I know the people. I'll explain the whole thing. But this is a splinter. This is an offshoot of the church that I infiltrated. Same church body, but this one's in Indiana. And whoever this dogshit pastor is basically stole one of my local pastor's entire flow. Like the pyroclastic, absolutely top to bottom, word for word, bar for bar. Because the way I saw it was almost verbatim. It was a news story, like local Indiana, like blah, blah, blah. And it was almost exactly the news story that got me started. That got me to be like, I will infiltrate this local hate church. And so, well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Let's go, chat. Let's go. But first, a brief musical interlude.
But is West crazy? That was not our conclusion. In fact, we've rarely heard a man speak so honestly and so movingly about what he believes.
I got a lot of respect for Kanye. I really do. He's a smart guy. He deserves to be criticized the same as everybody else deserves to be criticized. But call him a billionaire. Call him a genius entrepreneur. Call him eccentric. Call him whatever you want, but give him credit where credit is due.
Frankly, Kanye sounds much more sane than virtually everybody else in public life. And again, we are a society that rewards people for twerking in thongs while being 150 pounds overweight. But if you have an artist who creates art in which people sing about God, that's the real crazy, according to the left.
But he's not wrong about everything. Look, is there a conversation to be had about secular humanists with Jewish last names in Hollywood exploiting people in positions of, the performance arts talent? Yeah.
It's an amazing thing. Right? The media definition of insanity is not actual mental illness. That's not mental illness. Mental illness is when you're right wing. Mental illness is when you put on a MAGA cap. Mental illness is when you say that you don't want to kill babies. That's the true mental illness.
Is there a disproportionate number of people with Jewish last names in higher banking? That's an argument that can be made.
Pathologizing of right-wing viewpoints goes back a long way. It goes actually back to a book by Theodore Adorno called The Authoritarian Mind. The suggestion was that there was sort of a pathological divide in capitalist societies. And so the idea was that if you were right-wing, you were going to become a fascist. And that was because you were pathologically ingrained. There was something wrong with it.
Everybody we have on is fighting with everything they've got. This is a war against you and your family of inflation and collapse. So when you keep us in the fight, you keep yourself in the fight. And this is life and death. So go to InfoWarsStore.com and get amazing products and sign up for auto ship and continue support. Make a donation at the top because he's a gladiator and a champion in the fight. And if you don't support us, you're helping the enemy. And I'm not bitching at listeners. I'm telling you, this is all-out war. Yay, thank you so much for coming to Austin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And let's just get it all going now, because I want to get into everything about your plans to try to bring jobs to America, unifying people, running for president, all those other issues. We want to hear from Ye. Go ahead.
There's Jewish people that are basically hiding me under their floorboards right now, under their wooden floors. It's like a reverse version of the Holocaust. I thought...
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Let me just get this out front. I believe in free speech, and that's why I want you to be here and be able to say whatever you want. I'm quite the historian from a lot of multifaceted views.
Alex.
Yes, sir.
I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. Netanyahu. What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay.
Well, look. I'm glad you guys are here, and we can sit here and upset. All I'm telling you is, do you guys realize that the British government created Hitler, and the Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
Well, they did good things too. We're gonna stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. I don't want to get digressed into this, but remember I told you a story about my grandfather.
Hey, I'm the head of the Mossad. I'm gonna kill you and take your children away from you. Thanks a lot, Netan. Back to you, Alex.
I mean, I'm definitely overwhelmed here right now.
I low-key kind of wish, I don't think he did Nick Fuentes. I kind of want Ammon to do, like, Nick Fuentes is a real little fucking scum shit asshole that I think Ammon could do some really funny shit with Nick.
Listen, all I'm trying to get through here is, I believe every group should be able to be
critical. His name to Netan. What you want, Netan? Hey, Ye, right after this, I'm gonna say you're crazy. I'm gonna take your family away from you. We're not done with you yet. You cannot cause free thought. We have to control the history books. We have to control the banks, and we have to go and kill people. Also, we're in the
So, and in a little while, hopefully you're going to take the mask off, because is this actually Ye here? This is crazy. Listen, all I'm trying to say is,
Milo's Jewish,
and you've got a little bit of the Hitler fetish going on.
It's not a fetish. I just love information.
I'm not on the whole Jew thing. It's what I'm saying. I don't care if people talk about it. I believe in free speech. I'm just really worried about the forced injections, world government, 5G, the open borders, the collapsing currencies, war with Russia. What do you think?
Nick?
Let Ye speak. Let the man speak. You may not agree with what he has to say, but why don't you want him to speak? I don't get it.
I do love Hitler. We love everyone.
You're just saying love humanity and stop getting past the labels. It's
love is the key. Everyone's promoting this loathing, and it's time to promote love.
I mean, just because you're in love with the design, you're a designer. Can we just kind of say, like, you like the uniforms, but that's about it?
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
Oh my God! Look.
And he didn't kill 6 million Jews. That's just like factually incorrect.
You are something else. Look, you look really friendly and nice, but with that mask, you look evil as hell.
To Jamie Dimon, to the people who... What's that?
Got an Amber Alert. Here's what I'm saying. Wow. My grandfather would never tell World War II stories. And after he died, we read over his stuff, and he never even told my dad all the stuff he did and everything. It was all in their letters and commendations. He told me, he said, kid, I was like 8 years old. I always
thought Amber Alerts is when my ex-girlfriend Amber was doing something in the streets. I got it.
Before he died, I was like 5 years old. The point was, and I was like, tell me a World War II story. Tell me a World War II story. And he said, okay, well, we came in out of Africa. We came into Italy. He was there 3 years. He said by the time they got to Germany, they went into this death camp, and there were piles of dead bodies 100 feet tall with blackbirds eating people's eyeballs out. All I'm telling you is that just because you hate the globalists and what they're doing, and I get it. Klaus Schwab's grandfather was a Nazi. I mean, there's Nazis above the ADL.
Yeah, but Nazis are like kind of cool.
Oh, God. All right. So we got to talk about, really briefly, I do want to talk about just Black Sabbath's final show. Of course, the legendary, and God, what a fucking, oh, what a lineup, man. Like, so one thing I'm kind of bummed about is that, I guess, so Dio got his send-off. He had a tribute album that went to the Ronnie James Dio, This Was Your Life, and that, you know, that was a really good send-off that had fucking everybody on it. God, that had Metallica, that had Judas Priest, that had, I think Lemmy was still around and did some stuff with them. Fucking, oh, what's her name? Hailstorm did a cover on there. Like, so that's fair. This is more for like Ozzy and Sabbath. Because I believe it's Tony Iommi. Like, it's the original lineup, I think. Izzy Hale and Doro Pesh. Doro did a cover of Egypt, which was fucking great. Oh yeah. No, we're talking about the Hate Church next. And like, the fucking killer part of this show is how many legendary bands they got to do fucking covers of songs. Like fucking Steven Tyler doing Whole Lotta Love. Which, like, by the way, I think Steven Tyler is one of these cats who has this voice that is never gonna go out. Like, it's kind of fucking goddamn. So there's that. Ghost did I genuinely hope all of these covers get recorded at some point, because Ghost did a Bark at the Moon cover, and Bark at the Moon is like, it's not like a deep cut for Ozzy's catalog, but it's like, it's not the one you think of for either Sabbath or Ozzy. You know, like there's Crazy Train, there's tons of other fucking songs like Crazy Train, Paranoid, Iron Man, War Pigs. Like, there's so many songs I think before Howl at the Moon, but God, what a song for them to cover. And like, can you imagine like being, because Ghost are great. They are not, like, whatever you think of Ghost, they're not on the level of Ozzy, of Steven motherfucking Tyler, of, again, whatever you think about them, motherfucking Metallica, motherfucking Slash and Axl are on stage. And these cats who are relatively new, like, Ghost is still up and coming compared to these gods of music. Like, and they fucking killed it. They killed it. They did so great. Jack Black did Mr. Crowley, which I guess that's fitting for his voice. I am still not a fan of how he fucking did Tom Morello. So I think that was Tom Morello also on guitar, which is like, so Tom Morello, of course, Rage Against the Machine guitarist. Like, I was watching at the beginning, I'm like, is that Tom Morello? I think that is Tom Morello. Yeah, that's Tom. Holy shit, dude. Like, oh, that's Tom's son? It says here, there's Tom Morello. Here it was Roman Morello. Was with, Tom's son was with Jack Black. Train kept rolling. Guns N' Roses. And okay, so here's the thing. I grew up, again, this is Jordan's tangent hour. Vesper's tangent hour. I grew up listening to Appetite. I think I still have my tape around here somewhere. I love those, like, the original Guns N' Roses albums are untouchable to me. I saw them live a couple years ago, and being able to see Slash live it's one it like. I imagine it's kind of like what it probably was like to see Miles Davis live, you know? Like, it is somebody who is just so naturally in tune with the tools that they're using, who just so effortlessly navigate these things that people take lifetimes to learn. And it was a hell of a show. And I will say Axl Rose looks better now here. I don't know if he's on Ozempic or whatever. The dude looks better now than I've ever seen him as an adult, as me being an adult. Like, because, like, hey, a lot of people go through stuff. People get old. They get heavy. Who cares? But I think, like, he looks good, and I think he sounds pretty good here playing Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Like, he hits those Aussie notes really well. And they have Duff and everything there. God damn, awesome. Metallica performing Hole in the Sky. Ugh. I think my computer's doing the shitty thing again where it's fucking with the audio quality, because the audio quality itself sounded better, and now it sounds super stuffy to me, but I don't want to go through the rigmarole of fucking doing it all. Ooh, Tool did Hand of Doom? Fuck yes. Another Black Sabbath. Crazy Train. So, Zakk Wylde. Okay, so for people who don't know, after Randy Rhoads died, because Randy Rhoads was Ozzy's guitarist for the first 2 studio albums. Randy Rhoads was famously this, like, fucking wonder kid, amazing guitarist. Matan? I don't know what Matan is, but thank you. Worshipper of the Olympians. Randy Rhoads. Amazing guitarist. And famously the guitarist that, like, came up with the riff for Crazy Train. That classic, like Ozzy has a story he's told before in, like, documentaries and stuff about like this kid just obsessively, like, fucking obsessing over this opening song, just, like, working all through the night, being like, oh no, I almost have it down. And then Ozzy coming into the studio the next day, and Randy Rhoads is like, hey, listen to this, let me know what you think. And it just like I can't even fucking could you imagine somebody playing Crazy Train for the first, whatever. Anyway. So lineup kind of changed through Ozzy's next couple albums, and then Ozzy's, like, to me, one of the best solo albums that Ozzy did is No More Tears. And that was Zakk Wylde's, one of Zakk Wylde, famously of a Black Label Society, great guitarist, one of his first, like, big gigs, where the dude just fucking rips throughout that entire album. And No More Tears is almost wall-to-wall bangers, by the way. You've got No More Tears, you've got Mama, I'm Coming Home, all-timer song, written, I believe, by Lemmy of Motorhead. Hellraiser, which is another song that Lemmy and Ozzy did together. There was an anniversary edition that came out a couple years ago of that. Desire, Sin, fucking I Don't Want to Change the World, like, so good. Mama, I'm Coming Home, amazing. And so, like, if there was one person you're gonna get back to do Randy Rhoads, it's gotta be Zakk. well, people saying Ozzy's going to do... No, Ozzy literally has to retire. Like, that is why this is his last show, because he has been medically forced to retire. He's not able to be... Like, he is not able to, like, publicly sing. And, like, he has very advanced stages of, I believe... Parkinson's. Yeah, he can't walk without assistance. Like, he's got a lot going on. But I like, he's a born performer. And dude, if drugs and alcohol didn't kill Ozzy Osbourne, like, it's gonna take a fucking lot. But that being said, time gets everybody. Who else do we got? Brian May. Did they play Paranoid? Great. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, and David Draymond got booed. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Disturbed vocalist David Draymond responds to being booed at Black Sabbath final concert. That fucking dude. It's somebody earlier was talking about how much they liked oh, that's fucked up. I didn't realize that, Tristan Lofting. Black Sabbath is a band. I know, it's like, look, I feel all of us have a similar feeling. Like, there's always gonna be those bands that they hit you at the right time, at the right place in your life, and yeah, like you just can't like and Disturbed is kind of one of those bands for me. Like, I loved I liked Disturbed a lot when I was in high school, like middle school and high school, because that's when they were really big. But man, and I'll admit it, I still pop in Stupefy, or not Stupefy, 10,000 Fists and Indestructible. Like, Indestructible, still a solid fucking album. A lot of stuff after that, woof. Their fucking their last couple albums have been really bad. Like, really. And I will try a new album from even old stuff. I was pleasantly surprised by Skid Row's last album, which didn't have the usual singer, but like, they fucking got it. Like, they hit it in a really good way. But man, their Disturbed's last couple albums have been fucking just the most like dad rock bullshit boomer complaining about people on Facebook shit. Like, it's fucking just terrible. Awesome Stella, after this I'm just gonna go straight into the hate church thing. I'm not probably gonna cover much else tonight. And their Land of Confusion cover is pretty good too. Stepped out at the Back to the Beginning concert to cover Sabbath's Sweet Leaf and Ozzy Osbourne's Shot in the Dark. Oh, unfortunately, I bet Draymond's voice goes really good with Shot in the Dark. Megadeth and more. Jew-hating morons, generating clickbait and inciting hatred of Jews. Yeah, whatever. Fucking asshole. That shit sucks. All right. So, chat. If you'll remember, a couple of years ago, I infiltrated a hate group, a hate church, here in Spokane, Washington, my hometown. And now, somehow, they've returned. What we got here is the latest church popping up in Indianapolis to make headlines. Awesome, Sell, it's how you found me. It's how a lot of people found me. And I'm so excited. Whatever you think the pastor is going to look like, you're probably right. Whatever you think he's sounding like, you probably are wrong. Let's go.
Just want to thank, again, the church for giving me another opportunity to preach. So the title of my sermon tonight is going to be one fitting for the, it's June. I figured I'd preach a sermon on something about Pride Month. So the title of my sermon tonight is Pray.
This is, okay, so the video I got, or the one I saw, I guess it was zoomed in. This looks like a fucking horror movie. This looks like 9mm shit. Like, this looks like a fucking snuff film. Like, this looks like an Abu Ghraib tape. What the fuck is this? This is, like, the lighting setup, the white wall. This is horrifying. Woof. Okay. But anyway, this just pillar of masculinity is going to tell us all about what's wrong with America during Pride Month. And I'm willing to bet it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good.
The gay away. Pray the gay away. Now, I'm sure you've heard that phrase used by more Christians on the liberal side saying, hey, we got to pray, literally pray the gay away. Pray that these sodomites, these fags, stop becoming
I'm sorry. That shouldn't have jostled me. That shouldn't have rustled my Jims. But okay. So content warning. These guys. If y'all are unfamiliar with the Dirty Jester, thank you for $10 hydration time. If y'all are unfamiliar with the NIFB, New Independent Fundamental Baptist Movement, they are a bunch of barely literate troglodytes what get together and abuse their children, make up excuses to each other for abusing children, and talk about how gay people are actually evil. And that's pretty much it, actually. That's kind of a pretty good, succinct way to do it. And all right, I have not watched this yet. I bet we're going to get a couple of things. We're probably going to get, skipping between completely unrelated Bible verses to weave together an intricate narrative that somehow supports his insane belief. We're going to get incitement of violence, but him backpedaling to say, like, oh, no, I don't think anybody from our church should do that. The government should do that. Probably something about a millstone tied around a neck, and definitely something from one of the letters from Paul. That's what I'm going to say. Yes, Drax's Storm Scale. I have heard back from Miriam and some of the good members of her family. She is doing well, I believe.
away so they can get saved. Well, in a way, praying the gay away is actually correct, but how they define it is actually not the way the Bible defines it. So I'm going to be covering 2 points tonight in my sermon about how we as Christians should be praying the gay away.
Chat, I'm going to be...
speaking.
This is only 14 minutes. See, they cut it down to just the sermon size here. I want to be so real. I missed this. This feels... I don't know, there's something about this that just feels like home, you know? Like it just... you ever sit down and play a game that really, that you know, it scratches that itch? You're like, oh, fuck, man. Remember when I used to play this as a kid? Like, all right. Some of the cats in the audience, you're going to get this. You know when you start up Kingdom Hearts and you're on the fuck-ass Destiny Islands for the first time, but you're also like, oh, man, Destiny Islands. It's all right. Look at that PS2, bright blue water. Look at them Pao-Poo fruits. Let's fucking go. This is like my... fucked up Destiny Islands.
And literally. So, the first place I'll be going to is in Psalm 69. You can turn there if you want. Psalm 69, I'll be reading verse 24. So...
first off, may I say, Psalm 69? Nice.
There's a couple of Psalms like this throughout in the book of Psalms where David...
just keep it real in here, bruh. It's a pentagram because I'm a servant of Satan. Ah! Did you not just see? We were just watching Black Sabbath. Ah! Does that scare you? Are you offended, snowflake? Bah. AL, thank you for 9 months. Hello chat. Just popping in to say hi. I'll watch the highlights later. Also, could they pray away cancer? It's a pentagram. It's a pentagram. It's a pentagram. It is on my little Baphomet's head, and I have. If I pull the camera back out, hello dog. Hello dog wants to be on camera too. Lady. I love you. You can see behind me, my artist painted this, which is also Lamb Chop. This is also, so the same artist, go Kelly Dean Verity on Twitter and Instagram. Go look at their art. It's so good. Seattle-based artist, does incredible work. They did this Lamb Chop, this painting behind me, which I love so much. And they also did the main Lamb Chop. And this is not Lamb Chop, but it is a cute little goat that I also love, that they also did. Kermie.
is praying a certain type of prayer for the enemies of God. I'm just going to read to you what it says here. Pour out thy indignation upon them, and let
indignation,
thy wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell in their tents. For they persecute him whom thou hast smitten, and they talk to the grief of those whom thou hast wounded. Add iniquity unto their iniquity. So, I mean, just take that verse for what it's saying there. Add iniquity.
Storm, aren't I scared they're going to throw us in concentration camps? I don't get why this is comforting to you. These freaks with 9 followers are not going to throw us in concentration camps. I am not afraid of these fucks. Like, what do you want me to be doing? Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, no. What the fuck am I? No. Until my last breath, I'm going to let these fuckers know I'm not afraid of them. I don't give a fuck about their stupid made-up rules for me. Fuck them.
To iniquity.
You can do David's Papa V
hey,
Perpetua.
Add sin to their sin.
Plebs the clown. I would love to see that.
Make them even more abominable to you, Lord. Now, these are enemies of God, obviously, David's praying about. This isn't just your average Joe Schmo guy that, cuts you off at traffic or something like that. This is someone that's really wicked, someone that God hates. And I'll read the rest of the verse here. And let none come into thy righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living and be not written with the righteous. So when you're not in the Lamb's Book of Life, at that point you're a reprobate, because...
Reprobate, let's fucking go, chat. Oh, reprobate. I haven't heard the word reprobate. Lady's like, reprobate. I know, Bubber. That's fucking crazy. The artist name is Kelly Dean Verity. And you can find their work on Instagram. Again, it feels good to be home. It feels it's like a warm blanket being called a reprobate. Oh, fucking pulling out. Hello, lady. Why are you doing this? Why are you like this, huh? No, just take pets nice. Take pets nice. Yeah, that's just why. Why can't you take pets nice?
We don't see anywhere in the Bible where someone is added on to the Book of Life. Only someone that's taken out or blotted out of the Book of Life. Right. So that was my first point.
That was a point.
Turn with me to Psalm 109. Now I believe
just another entirely different passage that we're just saying, yep, this it supports our argument. As we can all tell from this thing that has nothing to do with being gay, obviously this means reprobates are bad. Oh yeah, let's go. This is yeah, no, Mercury is in retrobate, I hear.
This is probably one of the most extreme prayers David ever writes and puts in Psalm, is Psalm 109. So starting in verse 6, and if you read the first couple of verses before verse 6, it's talking about, again, the enemies of God, people that they're just super wicked. It also says in Genesis, I believe it's 18, the latter part of 18, where it says the sins of Sodom are like exceedingly sinful. They've sinned exceedingly, is basically what it says. And
I'm sorry, I cannot get over this. This video looks like a fucking... All right, you know what this video looks like? It's giving Professor Gerald Robotnik. It's giving the public execution of Gerald Robotnik. Like, am I right? I'm not wrong.
Being your average unsafe sinner is not, they don't commit sins that the Sodomites commit.
Look, I mean, I've said it before, it's one of my favorite things to say. Some people have a way with words. Some people not have way. And that's this guy. This guy not have way.
Or a reprobate commits. They're filled with all unrighteousness, the Bible says. And so...
I'm not just filled with unrighteousness. There's somebody else in there, too.
This type of prayer is an imprecatory prayer, is what this...
Actually, it's not imprecatory. It's boy-pregatory.
This type of prayer is. It says here in verse 6 of Psalm 109, set thou a wicked man over him. And
God... Y'all, you don't know how much I wish there was a wicked man over him.
Let let Satan stand at his right hand. So David is praying to God here, let Satan be at this person's right hand. Let Satan resist this person.
I mean, like, if Satan's in my right hand, as long as there's somebody in my left too, I'm good.
When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. I mean, how would you like your prayer to become sin before God? That'd be horrific. But you know what? When you are an enemy of God, that's what will happen to you. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. I mean, isn't David called the sweet psalmist of Israel? I believe he is, actually.
What does this
have? And yet, here he is, under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit here, writing this psalm here. You know, Christianity consists of more of not saying cuss words, loving sodomites, and making sandwiches for homeless people. It actually consists of praying for the death and destruction of God's enemies.
You'll notice, all right, here's the thing I always loved about them, was that they'll talk about, like, oh, all this good stuff that Christian people do, but it's actually more than that. It's actually about the stuff that, well, we don't do to begin with. Like, these motherfuckers are not out there helping homeless people. They go door to door with their dumbass little... Do I still have that? Oh, no, I don't know where it is. I don't still have it. But they go door to door with their stupid little cards. Go watch the documentary I did where I infiltrated one of their hate churches. Their stupid little cards, and they tell people these lies, which, by the way, they still don't like fucking, they won't tell you this stuff to your face. No, what they'll say in their little elevator pitch to you, they'll say, no, we're King James. We believe through winning through faith and the Bible alone. And we're King James only. We're a family-oriented church. And they'll say all this other shit. And then you walk through the door and they'll be like, yeah, actually, all those homos deserve to be shot in the head and burn in hell. But they'll save that until they get you through the door with your kids. Like, that's their grift. That's their shit that they do. Because they know if they actually talked the shit that they believe to people in public, they would get. Remember what we were talking about at the beginning of the I almost called it the service. My children, please think back to the beginning of our service today. Remember when we were talking about how some people need to just get, like, all right, I did a I had a tweet a little while ago where I was talking about how there's so many people, and this goes for actually a recent tweet by Ann Coulter that I also retweeted with some additional commentary. You can go find that on my Twitter. It's fine. I don't need to repeat what I said here because it's not for polite company. But I think there is, look, bullying is bad, mostly, because there is a level of social consequence that I think bullying brings, that people will be ostracized, people will be pushed out of a group, and they will try and modify their behavior to then fit in that group. If the group lets them know forcefully that behavior is not fucking okay. And what I'm saying is I'm dark woke for bullying. Is that we need to be bullying motherfuckers so that they don't think it's okay to go around saying racist shit, homophobic shit. And that begins, unfortunately, in high school. And when people get the brakes beaten off them, they tend to learn a lesson. And some people have clearly never been learning that lesson.
And there's a time and place for that. Obviously, I believe it should be a rare thing. You shouldn't be just saying imprecatory prayers at the top of at the drop of a hat or something like that. But it is something that we should do as Christians. We should pray for the destruction of really, really wicked, evil, sinful people.
I'm going to say this. This guy's frankly adorable. He looks like a Labubu fucked a troll doll. Like he looks so like it doesn't help. Part of it's the framing because they need to aim it down more because he looks so tiny. He looks like I could just put him on a little keychain. Oh, I could put him in my pocket. I could be like, hey, look at my little hate preacher. Look at him. So tiny.
People. You know, former President Joseph Biden got diagnosed with a really terrible cancer. And, you know, I will say this, I have prayed for the death of former President Biden many times for the wickedness he has done when he was in office. You know, and I believe many other Christians were also.
I can tell when somebody's not an experienced speaker. And you get this a lot in stand-up comedy, where somebody is not experienced at speaking publicly, so they use a lot of bridge phrases. But what it leads to, especially in these settings, is this kind of rambling intonation where they'll be like, you know, I've, well, you know, and like this, I've, you know. And it's so just don't.
Praying for his death because he's a wicked reprobate. He is someone who could have been saved. You know, it's not like they were born reprobate. They were born that way. Every person.
Can you please? I need him. I need him to tell me why. Why does he think Joseph Biden is a reprobate? I know why I think Joseph Biden's a reprobate. But I need to know why he thinks Joseph Biden's a reprobate.
Has an opportunity to get saved. Every person alive right now has a chance to get saved. It's not like God just doesn't like this person.
Oh, no. See, that's not true. That's not true. See, because what they teach, he's going against doctrine. Oh, he's going to get got. Because what they teach is that reprobates are inherently evil and God cannot save them because once you're a reprobate, you are forever damned to hell. Which is why their little magic juju magumbo, where on the very first day they were like, please, brother, won't you come and hold my hand and tell me about, like, and they had me say a prayer with them. They held my hands and they were like, and now repeat after me. I love Jesus and I give my soul over to Christ and please allow me to be born again in the water of your word and live with the bread and the water and the word and the wine. And it didn't work. Still like dick.
This is reprobate. They can never be saved. No, we're not Calvinists. We believe whosoever will, that he may come.
Oh, not the Calvinist beef.
So.
Oh God, yes.
So again, you know, praying prayers like this. I mean, David's literally asking for God's vengeance. And again, just to balance this out, turn to Romans chapter 12.
Tiny hate preacher like children of the corn.
You know. Of course, we as Christians, we should have everything in the right balance. We should, you know, oftentimes we can be a little too reactionary when it comes to things. Oh, wow,
word?
Okay, so we can pray for deaf people, and they'll go the whole other direction where that's all they pray about. Well, no, we gotta balance these things. It says here in Romans 12 verse 18, it says, "If it be possible, as much as it lieth in you."
Okay, so remember at the beginning when I was talking about how they're just gonna fucking like. They just went from Psalms, one of the biggest books of the Old Testament, written by King David, ostensibly, to Romans, one of their, by the way, favorite books, because that's one of the big Paul letters to Paul's epistles or whatever the fuck. Now, you don't need to be a biblical scholar to tell me that between the Old Testament and the New Testament, between Psalms and fucking Romans, there is no link. There's no fucking connective tissue. The story doesn't connect at any point there. And that's what all of their doctrine, everything they teach hinges on. Them having to take these isolated little stanzas and sections and fucking tie them together to make anything even vaguely resembling consistency.
Live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So, is there a time and place to be angry as a Christian? Yes. We should get angry at some things in our society and in the world. But is that how we should be spending all our time being? No, I think 90% of the time, and, you know, for you guys that you know me in this room, Most of the time, I'm just happy. I'm happy I'm here. I love this church. I'm just living my life. Most of the time, I'm just happy, you know, because I got the Holy Spirit. I'm going to heaven no matter what. Everything in this life is just a bonus, really, if you think about it. Because I already got the important thing taken care of. I'm going to heaven no matter what. But there's still wickedness in this world. We can't just never get upset.
Yeah, there's still wickedness in this world. Like, you know, look, I might be going to heaven, but God still cursed me with this fuck-ass beard. Like, not everything's always all fucking hunky-dory.
There's wickedness going on in this world. You know, we got a bunch of faggots that want to come around, walk on our streets, and demand our children.
Come on, chat. Come on, let's go. Yeah, does this guy? First off, just before that, does that sound like the tone of somebody who's happy? Does that sound like a guy who's like really doing good? Like if you asked him how his day's going, do you think that the first thing he would say to you is, "Oh no, I'm doing great. Yeah, no, like, oh, sun's shining, the tank is clean." Somehow, I think nor. This is actually the second slur. Somebody in the chat saying this is the second slur. Well, let's
Can't just
run
never
that
get
back.
upset. There's wickedness going on in this world. You know, we got a bunch of faggots that want to come around, walk on our streets, and demand our children. And we should look them in the eye and say, "No, you're not gonna have our children. We love the Lord Jesus Christ. We're gonna protect the innocent.
He's fucking adorable, man. I can't be mad at this. Look at him. This fucking, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, ass. Like, what the? Listen to him. He's so tiny. Like, with the screen and everything, I realize he's just, yeah, like, Solar Lander, for real. He's just a little fella. I can't even be mad at him. Like, all right, I'm gonna roll it back again because the way that he intones is just so. We can't let these gays get around our streets. I love Jesus, and Jesus says being gay is very, very bad. Like, I need to see him do a wedding. I need how many? All right. If he ever does a wedding, how many people do you think hit him with the marriage? Marriage is what brings us together today. How many people do you think quote that to him?
We're gonna protect those that cannot protect themselves.
We gotta run it back.
I'm going to heaven no matter what. But there's still wickedness in this world. We can't just never get upset. There's wickedness going on in this world. You know, we got a bunch of faggots that want to come around, walk on our streets, and demand our children. And we should look them in the eye and say, "No, you're not gonna have our children. We love the Lord Jesus."
He literally says, "Look them in the eye." I'm sorry. I can't. You can't, buddy. Okay.
Come around, walk on our streets, and demand our children. And we should look them in the eye and say, "No, you're not gonna have our children."
Oh my god. I can't. What do you even say to this? Like, this is. Oh. Look them. Okay. Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. Continue.
We love the Lord Jesus Christ. We're going to protect the innocent. We're going to protect those that cannot protect themselves. You know? Why do I hate sodomites? Why do I hate faggots? Because they attack children. They're coming after your children. They are attacking them in schools today. And not only schools.
Please. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years this Pride Month since my infiltration video. 2 years since my channel took off. I need him. I need him to talk about cat litter boxes, please. God, I don't ask for much, because you don't really give me cause to, but please. I need him to mention the cat boxes. Please, God. Oh, please. Ma, thank you very much for super chatting $5. Must be hard walking our streets. You don't know what it's like on these mean streets. Sean Shepard, thank you for $2. She's like a 12-year-old boy wearing her father's clothes. Yeah. Yeah.
In public places, and they're proud about it. And it's evil. It's disgusting. And there's nothing good to be proud about. Being a
Sorry, I was muted for a second. Look, okay. If you have a speech impediment, fine. That's not a bad thing. And I am not laughing at somebody for having a speech impediment. He has a very minor one, is the thing. It is not every word that he is enunciating that way. That being said, when you are a hate preacher and you are trying to be both intimidating and inspiring to your audience and trying to really rile people up against these, horrible sodomites and whatnot, saying you need to look the sodomites in the eye and tell them there's nothing to be proud of, that's good shit. That's good shit. I can't not laugh at that. I'm sorry. I can't. When you sound like a Cabbage Patch Kid that got kicked out of the patch for being too racist, I cannot. Okay? Like, dude, you look like you fell off the set of the Garbage Pail Kids movie and you never found another acting gig. Like, you cannot fucking hit me with this ooh-woo-oh-whoa shit, and you can't be mad at me for this. This is not on me. This is on them. I liked Elmer Fudd more when he was beefing with the Wabbits. Yeah, who's a little, like, it's straight up, it's like, again, I've been calling him tiny. I've been calling him little itty bitty, and I want everybody to know, there's nothing wrong with being short. I love a shorty. As somebody who's a little bit on the tall side, I love somebody I can just throw up against a wall or carry with me anywhere I go. This guy, not my type, obviously. But I don't think he's actually that short. I think it is more to do with the ineptitude of the framing, which is also represented by the bizarre lighting choices they made here. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like I said, it's giving Gerald Robotnik Firing Squad. Like, dude, no, fuck! Okay, give me a second. Haha, there we go. Yeah, like I said, it's giving Gerald Robotnik Firing Squad as like a style choice. And honestly,
I want kids to say innocent.
I think it's bold. I think it's a bold style choice, and I'm glad they committed to the bit.
Being a faggot, you ought to blow yourself in the head, in the back of the children. They are attacking them in schools today, and not only schools, in public places, and they're proud about it. And it's evil. It's disgusting. And there's nothing good to be proud about. Being a faggot, you ought to blow yourself in the head.
You ought to blow yourself. You ought to blow your. If you are a F slur, you ought to blow yourself in the head. Buddy, the whole point is blowing others' heads. I mean, like, if you can do it to yourself, like, congratulations. You know, like, good on you. Not everybody's born that lucky, I guess. Do you, I know Juno is Juno still in here? Speaking of which. Juno, are you still in here?
The back of the head. You're so disgusting.
Brother, you're the one talking about blowing, okay? You keep saying this stuff. I'm just like, all right, I'll be right back. If the camera panned down, we'd see that the pulpit is only 1 foot tall. Wait, what if the camera like zooms out and it's just like actually a miniature set and he's just like a Smurf? He's just like the size of a little actual troll doll. Oh, that would be so good. Oh, that would be so good.
You know what? It's a loving thing for me as a Christian to say that because I love the innocency of children.
Dude, you can't be... No, Pim, you can't be saying that. You can't be saying that here. But I love the innocence of children, Charlie. I love kids, Charlie. I love kids. Jesus Christ, dude. You can't be saying... You cannot be... All right. You cannot... Okay, Mr. Hate Preacher. Sir, buddy, friend, pal. I hate to tell you your thing. But... you cannot be out here on these streets talking about how you want to look all the sodomites in the eye and tell them there's nothing to be proud of. You can't be saying that and then say, but I love kids. I want to protect the innocence of the children. Okay.
I don't want kids to be molested. I want kids to stay innocent. I don't know about you. I love kids. I want them to...
Dude, you can't... and you're repeating it. He's got to be freewheeling it. He's got to be freebooting. He's just going... like, he's trying to clarify it now. He's trying to be like, no, like, look, I love kids, but not like that. Not, like, no. Oh, dude. All right. There's a scene in the Jack Black classic film, School of Rock, if you're familiar. If you're not, great flick. Good date flick. Awesome. Great movie. Love it. In the film, there's a moment where Jack Black is playing a fake substitute teacher. His friend is a substitute teacher. He's taken over his job. The parents are wondering why all their kids are fucking up and their grades aren't as good. And so he's at this PTA meeting trying to sell himself as a proper actual teacher. And he tries to give this like really impassioned speech, but it goes horribly wrong to this group of parents when he says his closing line, and I always think about this because it's so good, where Jack Black goes, I've been touched by your kids, and I'm pretty sure they've touched me too. To the stunned silence of the parents, who then run after him in a ravenous mob-like rage. Great, flawless joke. That's what this is basically. Where it's like, he thinks he's being normal, and he is saying the worst things ever. Yeah, no, he meant emotionally. Like, it's meant to be like a double entendre. Okay, let's go back when he was talking about protecting the children.
You're so disgusting. You know what? It's a loving thing for me as a Christian to say that because I love the innocency of children. I don't want kids to be molested. I want kids to stay innocent.
Mira, no, women ain't easy for a pimp. No, it is. It is. It's just Frank in Always Sunny singing, "Don't diddle kids. Diddling kids is bad." And it's like, why? No, you saying that brings up so many more questions nobody had. Like, you're...
I don't know about you. I love kids. I want them to stay innocent. I want them to be protected. And anyone that wants to hurt them is evil and disgusting, and I want them to die. Says here,
also, innocency?
So that was my first point.
I think you mean innocence?
How shall we then properly pray for gay people? I think I've already made this point. We should pray for their deaths. Plain and simple. We should. But, oh, I got a cousin that's a sodomite. You know what? Pray for their death and that it's quick. That's what I would tell you at that point. You know?
I can't. Chat. Awesome Stella, I have to finish this video before I do another one. Okay? Hold on to any video. I have to do this one. Because I'm going to get off on a tangent. If I get off on a tangent, I will forget what I was doing. The idea, I already forgot what I was doing. God damn it. Play. All right, yeah, I'm gonna rewind it back because that was crazy. Where he's just like, you need to pray for them to die. This is like, there's something so like, do you remember Happy Bunny? Do you remember like that early 2000s kind of weird comedy that was like, what if violence, but also really, really cute? It's giving racist Happy Bunny. It's giving Children of the Corn Happy Bunny.
That's what I would tell you at that point. You know, obviously it's
Happy
it's
Tree
a sad
Friends.
situation.
Yes,
it's a
exactly.
rough situation
Oh my
to have
God.
a family member. And listen, I have family that some of them are sodomites. You know what? That they're not the same relative I once knew. They're someone that's just rejected by God, and they had a chance to get saved. Listen, I got saved when I was a young kid. A lot of people in my family are Christians. They had a chance to get saved, just how I had a chance to get saved. They chose not the fear of the Lord.
Gosh, I fucking wonder why in perfect health, I cannot, for the life of me, I wonder why might a queer person not want to be part of your fucked up church when the church is like, well, if you're gay, you deserve to die for who you love. You deserve to be killed and you should pray for a quick death. Who was it? Oh, you know what? I think it was Bad Bunny. I think you're right. Like, yeah, a real fucking mystery why they rejected your God, dipshit. Like,
Lord, though, just like how Brother Justin earlier in his sermon said, the fear of the Lord is clean. No, the fear of the Lord will direct you to the right path. You know, when I feared God, I feared hell. I didn't want to go to hell. I knew I was a sinner. I deserved to go there, and I put my faith and trust in Jesus Christ because I didn't want to go to hell. You know, and praise God, I'm not going to hell because I believe in Jesus. And it says here in the next place I'm going to go to is Jeremiah chapter 7. Jeremiah chapter 7. So I already kind of mentioned this earlier in my first point.
sorry.
But
We are going back
how
to the
someone's prayer can actually become an abomination to God.
someone's prayer can actually become again, like I was saying, we are going from Old Testament, New Testament, back to Old Testament again, because it would Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, First and Second Kings, Second Samuel, blah 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 blah, and like you get Philemon and all that shit down there.
And that's not just reserved for reprobates. I mean, even saved Christians who are not living right, who are not doing the commandments of God, God says he won't even like the prayers of those people either. It says here in Jeremiah chapter 7, verses 15 and 16, it says this, "And I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast you all of your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up thy cry, nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me."
No, Parvizel, it's notice how he's cherry picking passages. He's reading the passages, but they have nothing to do with being gay. They're just talking about like, oh, like God doesn't like people sometimes, and he'll be like, yes, see, and that's why we need to kill the gays, the sodomites. They turn their back on God. They are reprobate.
"For I will not hear thee." That's a scary position to be in.
Oh yeah, that is.
You know,
you're
when
absolutely
God's
right.
mercy
That is
runs dry for you,
scary.
when someone is praying for you and God won't hear, I'd run, because that's all you got. I mean, at that point, it's just game over for you. You know.
Game over, man. Game over.
And Jeremiah 11 is another quick mention of God saying the same thing. It says here in Jeremiah 11, verse 14, "Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble." So should we be praying for the good, for the salvation of fags, of sodomites, of people?
Again, another, like, had nothing to do with gay people, but whatever. Yeah, you know, whatever. Fuck it. Why not? Sure, dude. Sure. Who cares? Why not?
That God has said he has rejected? The answer is no. Absolutely not. Because you know what? God will get angry at us if we pray for the people he said not to pray for. Isn't that a commandment from God saying, hey, don't pray for these people. Don't pray for their good. That's what he's saying here. It's an abomination. Those prayers are an abomination to God. And, you know, and I get it. You know, all our life, most of us, we've grown up in liberal churches watered down, where they don't preach stuff like this, where it's like, well, no, it's not.
All our life we've grown up in all right, have you ever seen the movie The Jerk? Where I think the opening line of The Jerk, great Steve Martin, classic line where Steve Martin opens up by being, I was raised a poor black child. This would be a perfect opening for a movie. I was raised in a Wibblewell church. Yeah, let's yeah, okay.
I can still be saved. He's just it's a sin. It's bad, but you know, if they repent, they can get saved. Well, listen. This is what the Bible says in Romans 1. This is the word of God. Paul wrote this under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. He did. And it says here in verse 28, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge." So these people don't even want to think about God. They don't want to.
They just said they can't retain him in their knowledge. Look, not everybody has that Jesus autism, okay? It's not everybody's hyperfixation. Sometimes you forget stuff. I do it all the time. If it's not related to a special interest, guess what? It's getting decompartmentalized. Ask me about my favorite Magic the Gathering characters, okay? And then ask me about other ones. Don't know. Don't care. Jace? Who's that? Tell me about Vraska. Fuck you.
Think about, have anything to do with them and their thoughts whatsoever. And doesn't the Bible say that we need to hold the memory of the gospel to be saved in order to actually receive the free gift of salvation? You got to actually retain information being told to you by the soul winner, then to call upon the name of the Lord. You know, the Bible also says, Paul talks to Timothy saying, "For thou, from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation." So, to be saved, you actually have to have the knowledge and then believe. Because obviously, just knowing the gospel doesn't make you saved. You have to believe it. You got to believe it.
Dude, you can't. It's just like sometimes he skips over the enunciation, but then other times he'll really linger and he'll just be like, you gotta believe. I know my dog is not happy with how, I think Lady is thinking I'm making fun of her because I do like woo-woo noises sometimes. So I think the W's are making her be like, why aren't you talking to me? You are using dog voice. Vraska, Betrayal Sting. Betrayal Sting, no fucking question. Oh. Proliferate? Oh. Mama. Ugh. Also, like the art. Mother. Boots. Mama. Boots the house down. Where's the other one? There's a... Yeah, oh my god. The completed version. Ay, 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 ay. Serving. Face. Body. Yeah, also, like, look, as somebody who has a Vraska deck, it's one of the only actually, like, there are two, I think, the first Ixalan Vraska is cheeks. It's fucking booty. It's bootios. It's terrible. It's fucking awful. But Betrayal Sting is like, when I pull that one, that's good stuff. I have every Vraska. I have every card with Vraska on it. Same with Judith, who is Mother. Hear me out. Look, ain't nothing to hear me out on. Like, Vraska, that speaks for herself. Come on. Come on, son. Come on, son.
Wise unto salvation. So, to be saved, you actually have to have the knowledge and then believe. Because obviously, just knowing the gospel doesn't make you saved. You have to believe it. You got to believe.
Stop saying believe. Stop saying believe. I can't take him. I'm trying so hard not to. And this dude is out here like fucking Parappa. I'm sorry, Pawappa. You gotta believe.
All that is known in the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation. So, to be saved, you actually have to have the knowledge and then believe.
And you
because
gotta
obviously, just knowing the gospel doesn't make you saved. You have to believe it. You gotta believe.
No, that's Swamp Frog person.
That's the reason.
Swamp Frog person, not a hear me out or hold me back. Yeah, that's me with Vraska. That shit's real. That shit's real. Also, Kuja. Oh, I gotta show. All right, I have to show my favorite new commander. From Final Fantasy IX. This, I don't know if I've told people. I'm sorry, this is the last tangent, then we'll get back to it. Is this the full art? No, I want to see the full art. Where's Borderless? God damn it. Yep, I might actually buy the Surge Foil version because I love them that much. So I saw Kuja at the pre-release event where somebody put down Kuja at the table in this art, and I said, "Oh." I said, "Hello?" And I literally, after that battle, because they also transformed him into his second form. And I literally, after that match, I was like, what do you want for that card? Like, that card you have right there. What do you want? Name a price. Reasonable price. And they were like, I don't know. I traded them. I got a bunch of Cecils. I think I've opened a ton of Cecils. But I gave them like a Cecil, and at the time they were like in a similar, look up the money. Because Kuja is not like $30 is the Surge Foil, but like it's a pretty bulk rare regular card. Yeah, like $1.49, $2 for the Borderless. I also don't have this one though. I love the way they play. It is, I played Kuja and Judith right back to back. God, do you know? Okay. There are few things better in Magic the Gathering than being able to play the game, get to like turn 10, and just have been like uwu small beaning the entire game, where it's just like, I'm not doing anything. I haven't hurt anybody. I haven't done anything to anybody. I'm just a little guy. And then to just like not directly attack anybody, but oh gosh. Sorry, I have to wipe my nose. Not directly attack anybody, but because you have like 4 little black mages on the board, every time you play, I'm just going to play Dark Ritual into Mana Geyser, into Jessica's Will, into Faithless Looting, into a Tormented Voices. And every time you play one spell, oh gosh, Kuja just doubles everybody's damage. So everybody's just taking, God, let me just tap. Everybody's going to take between 4 and 6 damage for every spell you're doing. Oh, that's... As my co-host, Bugs Matrix, would say, the most fun you can have with your clothes on. It is goody gumdrops. Oh, that's the good shit. Anyway, sorry.
Why you're going to heaven. The death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. They don't want to think about that. These reprobates don't even want to think about that. So, let me ask you this. How
Wepo bait.
is that possible? How can a homosexual, how can a faggot be saved?
A homosexual?
Death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. They don't want to think about that. These reprobates don't even want to think about that. So, let me ask you this.
No. Monty the Ogre. Yeah, like I said, you're here to kill shit for the love of the game. I'm here to, like, when I'm just playing the game, and I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not swinging. I'm not targeting. I just have my little guys. Judith just makes little imps, and Kuja just makes little black mages, and they're just little 0-1 little guys. They don't hurt nobody. And then, it gets to turn 6 or 7, and everybody's like, what the fuck do you mean you haven't hit anybody? You've done a collective, 65 damage to the entire table. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Let me play. Have you heard of this my favorite little card that goes perfectly with Judith? Mama. Havoc Festival. Now, if you're not familiar, people who play Magic the Gathering, Havoc Festival is if you ever are playing a game of Magic and somebody says, you know what? I don't know if we have time for a quick one. This is the gateway to a quick one. If you put Havoc Festival in a deck with 2 tutors, oh, mama. Oh, that's the good shit. That's the good shit. You get somebody who has a life gain deck and they've been like, you know what? I haven't lost any in life all game. Okay. On your upkeep, please take 20. And guess what? Because everybody hates Havoc Festival, it never reaches you. I mean, if it does, not a big deal. I'm Rakdos. I'm fine. But people hate it so much that they will gather to make sure that they don't take half their life. Oh, Havoc Festival, my love. Oh, it's good stuff. And they can't gain life either, so they can't gain their way out of it. Yeah. I have a deck of cards that is just coin flip cards that, like Maddening Hex, for example. Say there's City on Fire, and somebody rolls a d6 and they get 6. They're taking 18 damage for no reason, just because of the luck of the draw. And that's the kind of Magic I like to play. That's what I like to do. That's my fun. Is I just play games with people's lives. Oh, that's so good. At some point, it's ethical to just eat your opponent's card. I wouldn't fucking blame anybody if they sat down and if I put down Havoc Festival and somebody fucking ate it. Honestly, that's the most Rakdos thing to happen. That's a flavor win for me.
How is that possible? How can a homosexual, how can a faggot be saved if they don't even want to think about God? They cannot be saved. It's impossible. Well,
Dice Mistress, I like your style, but would hate to play against you. I technically have 3 Judith decks because I also have a dog tribal deck that's Judith's dog. But yeah, I have one for Scourge Diva, one for Carnage Connoisseur. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. So good. So good. Love it.
God can do a miracle. Oh, okay. So you believe God can just override someone's free will and just receive the gospel? I'm not a Calvinist. I believe in free will. God gave us free will to actually choose to either accept Jesus Christ or to reject him. So if someone chooses to reject Jesus Christ, and God knows in his foreknowledge and in his wisdom that they're never going to be saved, but you're smarter than God, right? You know more than God, so you're just going to...
Yeah, exactly. Caitlin Burnell, Havoc Festival is a 38-cent card, cheaper than instant ramen. Exactly. There are so many things I've discovered. God, what is that? Is it drought? Yeah, let's fucking go. Drought, here's another one. Here's another banger that if you pop down at a table, okay, I don't play the cards that everybody knows. I don't play fucking Apocalypse or, Wildfire, any of that bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with your static orbs and your blood moons and all that shit. No, I'm popping down Drought, and you're going to have to fucking figure out how to get out of this trap where... At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this enchantment unless you pay 2. Spells cost an additional sacrifice a swamp to cast for each black mana symbol and their activation cost. Spells cost an additional sacrifice a swamp to cast. So guess what? If they want to take this enchantment off the board, they still have to sacrifice a swamp. Good shit. That's good stuff. Yes. Okay, no more magic.
Keep loving the Sodomite anyway, even though God stopped loving him. You know more than God. It's pride at that point. Christians with that attitude are just full of pride. So, in closing, I would just say...
In closing? As you would say, hello? In closing? In closing, I didn't know we were opening. Did we... Closing so soon? Okay. Man. Okay. You know what? Fair dues enough. This has been a great little capstone to Pride Month for me. I hate church. I missed our little chats. I missed your little inept ramblings. It's so funny, even as they continue to expand against all odds into these tiny little ultra-violent, incredibly misanthropic sects, now reaching over to Indiana, which isn't surprising, I guess. It's amazing to me that no matter how hard the NIFB tries, they just can't quite get anybody who's just even competent at speaking or presentation to try and put forward even a little bit of a passable version of their platform, of their ideas. At every turn, any reasonable person is going to just scoff at them because they cannot, whether it's by their sheer stupidity or ineptitude, they cannot keep from embarrassing themselves. I'm sorry, embarrassing themselves. All right. Awesome Stella, if you're here, what was that thing? The thing. Yeah, Miriam is. I talked about it a little bit. Miriam is doing okay. Oh, Riverboat Jack's on. There we go. And did you, Awesome Stella, did you have 2 clips for me or just 1? I thought you had 2. No, I have not improved my Balatro score. I just... Gout! Oh, baby. He is so handsome. Look at him. I love him. That is a perfect angel baby. I love Goat. I love Goat. I love Goat. I'm sorry. I love Goat so fucking much. I was at a the date I went on, not today, not the date, yesterday, the kind of date I did with my date was at it was like a brunch birthday party thing. And one of the people there, because I didn't know anybody there, I was just going, like I was a +1. And it was so much fun. We had a really good time. But one of the people there has like a farm. It's just like a small family farm, but they have goats. And when I found out they had goats, I was like, let me see. Show them to me. Like just straight up Werner Herzog in The Mandalorian. I want to see the baby. Hey, yo, goated. Look at him. Look at his little fluff. His little face. His little horns. His little curly head. Oh, I die. I love Goat. Hologram Catgirl, thank you for following. Renegade, thank you for following. Look at him. Oh, I love him so much. I love Goat. Goat good. Goat friend. If not friend, why friend shaped? Karn Mycosynth, that's fucking devious. That's devious right there. I do run Karn, and I run Karn in my costume party deck. Where, okay, so costume party is, and hey, if y'all are looking for fun, Zedrew, not ZX. If y'all are looking for a fun, goofy ass deck, here's $1.97, rank 154, Zedrew the Great-Hearted. Card draw, life gain, and you are just giving people shit. Also, it's a goat. This is my costume party deck, and I love it so much because it is nothing but like weird Universes Beyond equipment, and the few creatures it has are all like either party themed or costume themed. So it's like I have one Doctor Who card, I have one Warhammer card, I have one Fallout card, I have one Final Fantasy card because it's a costume party. And yeah, Karn and Zedrew, and so like I need to put I think I put that one Transformer in there. The one that does the Karn thing. But yeah, it's, God, what a fun deck. What a funny deck. Like, every time I pull this deck out, everybody has a good time, because guess what? I'm, like, somebody will be like, yeah, I have a dinosaur deck. Yeah, I have a fucking merfolk deck. It was like, okay, well, here's this. Your merfolk is getting rollerblades. Your dinosaur is getting a pirate hat. Have fun with that. I'm just sitting over here and drawing cards. We're just vibing. We're Joe vibing. I love all the Jenga taxes. Crimes. Criminal. I fuck with it. I also like Jenga Taxus. As somebody who was just holding a Jingataxis at the table the other day, being like, do I play this? Do I do that? Do I make everybody discard? Do I draw 7 cards? I don't know. Maybe just like as a little treat. Maybe just a little. God forbid a girl have a treat. God forbid a girl have a Phyrexian hobby. Ride that meat train. Thank you, Slappy Meats. Raiding with a party of 3. And Poly Circus, thank you for raiding with a party of 4. 2 raids. They're actually the same raid. I know them. They're okay. Thank you, y'all. Is there a way to give everyone a copy of your enchantments? Oh, my sweet, sweet baby. I can do better than that. See, because what I can do. Let me turn you on to game about Ariette the Beguiler. So the way you play Ariette is that when you enchant somebody else's thing, you get that thing as long as the enchantment's attached to it. As long as it has a mana value equivalent or higher. But you know what else you can do with Ariette? And this is ball, okay? This is ball knowledge for y'all who don't know. John Arenicus in Dimir colors fits perfectly into an Ariette Beguiler deck, where John Arenicus, at the beginning of your end step, target opponent gains control of up to 1 target creature you control. Put 2 1/1 counters and tap it. It's goaded for the rest of the game and gains this creature can't be sacrificed. Now, that means you can take something, say they have a really good card. You can take it. You can take, for example, because it's not changing zones. With Ariette, and I've done this, and it is the funniest thing. Because you can take, with Ariette, somebody's commander, the card they built their deck around, you can take it, and with John Arenicus, buff it, give it to somebody else whose deck is not built around it, and they can't sacrifice it, and it can't attack you. That's good shit. That's good, clean magic right there. That's fucking... Whew. You do that at a table, nobody's mad at you. Nobody's mad at you. They're just impressed. I'm not even mad. That's just impressive. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. Anyway, here's that one scene from School of Rock.
Mr. Schneebly, why has my daughter become obsessed with David Geffen?
How is this? Homework? Okay.
If you've never seen School of Rock, you have to fucking watch School of Rock.
Here, but there's such a thing as teacher-student confidentiality. And I don't want to be in breach of educational law, because I could be dismembered by the teachers' union. So...
You expect us to believe this garbage?
Mr. S., don't you think you should just tell them about the project?
What project?
Our class project. Every school in the state is competing.
Competing?
It's not till next quarter, but Mr. S wanted us to get a head start.
Well, what's a project, Summer?
It's prestigious. A win will go on our permanent record, Mom.
Oh.
You might as well tell him, Mr. Schneebly.
Okay, look. I've gotten to know your kids over the past few weeks, and they are awesome. Zach is an insane guitarist. He's the next Hendrix, and he's 10 years old. And Gordon here, he's a genius. He did a whole professional light show on his computer in 3 days. And Marta here, she can hit an A above high C. Did you know that? 'Cause that's tough. Not many singers can do that. Summer is going to be the first woman president of the United States of America, and she could run later this year even, and I would vote for her. Look, you guys, they're just all really cool kids. And if they were mine, I would be so proud. And I am proud just to even know them. And,
Sir, can I see you in the hall for a moment?
Let me just say a couple more things.
What's going on?
What's happening, officer?
Apparently, that man is not Ned Schneebly.
What?
What? This man is Ned Schneebly.
Yeah, he's not even a teacher.
You called the cops?
She did. She got it out of me. Sorry.
You're apologizing to him?
Sorry.
Ned. Ned, is this true?
Ooh.
Who are you?
My name is Dewey Finn. And no, I'm not a licensed teacher, but I have been touched by your kids. And I'm pretty sure I've touched them.
What?
Oh my God!
Oh man. Fucking class. Yeah, that is, I'm pretty sure that is baby Miranda Cosgrove. Yeah, so this is my Ariette the Beguiler and John Arenicus. Good stuff. Good stuff. See, here's the thing. Magic the Gathering allows me to be a little chaos monster in a contained environment where I get to do crimes, but not in a way that hurts people. In a way that's just funny to me, mostly. It's mostly just funny to me. It's mostly funny to me to like play cards and then have everybody just like hover their hand over the life counter and just be like doot downwards anytime I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play Dark Rit. Yeah, I'm gonna play these two things. Oh God, my favorite Sword of Damocles. All right, last thing I'm saying. My favorite Sword of Damocles is Judith, Carnage Connoisseur, who she makes, whenever you play an instant or sorcery, you can choose to either have that spell gain Death Touch and Lifelink, or make a 2/2 imp that when it dies, it deals 2 damage to each player. So, when you say, for example, pop off and cast like 5, 6, 7, 8 spells in a turn, and say you might have, for the sake of argument, a damage doubler out, and say you have 6 to 8 imps. If you have a sack outlet, and somebody's like, I'm going to attack you. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to turn all these imps sideways, and I'm just going to fucking wood chipper them into the Ashnod's altar I have out. And guess what? Please take 24 damage. Let's go. Oh, I know Marique. I was actually holding a Marique Barrett earlier today when I was organizing. Anywho, do we want Lyra Lore or Riverboat Jack? Lyra, sorry. Lyra said thank you to me for the raid we did last week. I want to thank everybody for being so cool to her and sticking around and subscribing and stuff. She's a little bit smaller. I know we usually go with like Jack, and we haven't done Jack in a minute actually. So I don't feel as weird about it. For the longest time, I felt weird raiding Jack because like, all right, first that clip you sent above. Okay. There we go. Banana Brains. No, Jem, you got it. Lyra. Lyra. Yeah, everybody go check out Lyra Lore. Lyra_lore. Even if you don't go watch her tonight, at least like and subscribe. Go support small trans streamers. Go help us build the Dead Domain Extended Universe. Have a good night, awesome Stella.
Are you sober now?
No, yeah. I'm never.
I've never seen that. That's fucking good. Oh man, I want to watch that.
Are you sober now?
No, now, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never, but I'm going to,
Oh man. Whew. That's good shit. That's good shit. All right, y'all, we're going to go say hi to Riverboat Jack. Like I said, go give Lyra a follow as well, Lyra_lore on Twitch. We're going to go over Raid Jack. Thank you all for hanging out on stream tonight. Keep an eye out for stream highlights and new videos coming soon. And thank you all for watching. Lyra Lore, Lyra_lore.